Match number 4, we have the home team in action in front of their home crowd. Please welcome the Upgrad Mumba Masters. Maxim Vashiolagrav, Wesley So, Shakhriyar Mamadyarov, Koneru Hampi, Harika Dronawali, Barya Daneshwar, along with their coach, Mr. Hari Krishna. Up against them, the risk takers, the game changers, and the team with the winning momentum. Give it up for Fire's American Gambits! Hikaru Nakamura, Richard Rapport, Vladislav Artemiev, Bivisara Asaubayeva, Teodora Eniak, Volodar Murzin, along with their coach, Mr. G.M. Srinath. And now for the first move, I would like to call upon Mr. Lucky Saini, Senior VP Marketing, Fires. Please put a huge round of applause for our players for today as they take their places. All the best to all of you. Can we also have Mr. Bharat Singh Chauhan, the tournament director, along with our guest for today, Mr. Lucky Saini, for the first move.
Hey guy, Guys, welcome everyone to the first game of today, and joining me is none other than Grandmaster Sahaj Grover. Hello Sahaj bhai.
Hello Sagar bhai, very excited to be here. What a match.
It's an incredible match between the upgrade Mumbai Masters and the Fires American Gambits. And you know, the games have begun. Harika versus Theodora Inyak. We see it already in action on board number 5. And what is that move, Sahaj bhai? G3?
She has gone for G3, yes, going for the Reti opening, most likely. I think to throw off her opponent. And you can see she's already thinking, yeah? I mean, she's not sure how to continue because this is not part of her preparation. And G3 ke baad, what do you play? Do you play E5? Do you play D5? So many options.
Yeah, she is thinking right now, and G3 ho chuka hai, and Theodora Inyak is taking her time. She's like, what, 30 seconds in? She hasn't made her move. I think Harika's move has surprised Theodora.
Absolutely, and it would surprise anyone at this point because G3 is a type of move जहाँ पे आप E5 और D5 दोनों खेल सकते हो. Normally, अगर आपको G3 खेलना होता है तो आप Knight F3 से start करते हो. That's easier because you don't have the option of going for both E5 and D5. But after G3, you have the option of both. So now I think this is what she's thinking about.
Oh, she's thinking a lot. Maybe we can check the game of Humpy and Bibisara. This is on board number 4 that's happening, and there are some moves that have happened here. So it started off very calmly. Sahaj bhai, this is going to be some kind of a King's Indian that we can see on the board here.
Absolutely, and C5 by Bibisara is a bit interesting. I think a bit dynamic in nature.
Bhai, push kar sakte hai aage?
Bhai, bilkul. I think if I was playing, I would go D5 here instantly. But uske baad E6 khelegi, to what do you do?
Then it'll be some kind of a Benoni structure that could happen here. So very, very key moment. Humpy says, I want to castle. So she castles here. And meanwhile, we have the icon board which has begun. Let's go to MVL and Hikaru Nakamura. And
Wait,
am I seeing it right?
Wait, what?
Is this what has happened?
No, actually, Hikaru has done this in the past before. But guys, this is one of the oldest traps, like one of the first traps you learn in chess.
Can you show us? So let's go back here. We see the Petrov here with knight f6. He takes the pawn. And Sahaj bhai, यहाँ पे तो knight को kick मारते हैं, right?
Absolutely, and like as a beginner, the first thing you learn is knight takes e4. जो Hikaru ने खेला is a bad move क्योंकि queen e2, knight d6 के बाद you have a way to take your opponent's queen.
Can we ask our viewers, guys, what's the white move here? Knight c6, absolutely correct. Attacking the queen and check. तो ये सही नहीं है भाई.
Exactly, but Hikaru कुछ prepare करके आया, and I'm sure I've seen Hikaru play this before. I'm not sure where it's some faster format. I think in maybe Norway chess or something, I saw him play this before. But crazy that he went for it again.
And f4, and in this position, you can see that white is a pawn up. Not too much of material, but already substantial. But this is all Hikaru's prep, and also MVL should be prepped here, but he started to think.
I'm not even sure what you would go for here if you don't know the move. Yeah, I mean the heart says go d4. Exactly. He goes for d4.
Pushes d4.
Knight को हटाओ यहाँ से, and then knight bishop c4. Interesting variation here. कुछ Italian से maybe transpose. Black takes the knight on c3, so giving up the double bishop advantage, but at the cost of breaking white's pawn structure on c3. अब black को d5 खेलना थोड़ा it looks a bit tempting. But I'm not sure if it's working here or not.
मुझे तो बहुत पसंद है white के दो bishop. This is looking quite promising here for Wesley So. कल भी he was in big trouble against Vincent Keimer, but he managed to save it with a draw. If we can go full screen on this one, Director Saab, we can see actually both Wesley So and Vladislav Artemiev. Very cool. And we also have a nice board there in the corner for all of you to watch it.
Absolutely. And Wesley So, one of the most dangerous players when it comes to Italian, because he's so well prepared. He understands these positions so well. थोड़ा तो डर लगेगा भाई.
Absolutely. Let's go to another game here. We have the battle between Shakhriyar Mamedyarov and Richard Rapport, two of the most creative players in the world of chess. Board number 3 पे ये लोग खेल रहे हैं. क्या लग रहा है यहाँ पर आपको? Very exciting opening, yeah, Sahaj bhai, Nimzo Indian.
बिल्कुल भाई. I think this has now become a trend of giving up the double bishop pair, attack दो, pawn structure तोड़ो and let's go भाई. I think I love this time format because it brings out this need to win for both players, which I really like. This is Nimzo. White ने f3 push कर दिया. अब e4 के साथ कुछ attack आ सकता है king side पे, e4, f4, e5 and so on, and black playing on those 2 pawns on c3 and c4.
So you get your knight here, you get your bishop here, you get your rook here, you try to attack on this pawn, and this is the ideas in the position. It's looking quite exciting on this board, I must confess. Going to the game of Humpy and Bibisara Asaubayeva on board number 4, here we see that the position, although even, the engine is suggesting that white is slightly better here.
I'm not sure why, but how did that pawn? Why is that pawn on h5?
Why is that pawn on h5?
Like, how
That's
did that
a great
happen?
question, bhai.
मतलब ये क्यों हुआ?
Bhai, I think Bibisara wanted to scare Humpy a bit, so she pushed her h pawn, but Humpy ने बोला कि भाई if you push here, I will go ahead. So h3, very calm reaction. And now, as you said, this pawn does look like it's sticking out, and the g5 square has been weakened.
Exactly, and now knight को c3 पे लाएंगे, bishop g5 पे लाएंगे, centralizing the position. I think Humpy enjoys a very calm advantage. Although Sagar bhai, nice tactic. You cannot play bishop g5 here, I feel.
Let's ask.
I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think you can because there's a double attack incoming. I think कर रहा है काम नहीं?
Oh, भाई कहाँ से यार? मुझे नहीं
h3
दिख
और
रहा है.
c4 ना?
Oh my God, what a move.
Working, yeah, I think.
Sahaj bhai, very sharp, guys. Can you find what Sahaj bhai has on his mind? It's a double attack, and this one is for a small giveaway. क्या खेलोगे भाई यहाँ पर? Black to play, double attack.
Yes, correct.
Queen c8, that's amazing. And maybe, I don't know, should I throw it bhai?
हाँ, throw it, throw it.
थ्रो करते हैं. छोड़ो, किसी को लग जाएगा. I'll give it to you later. Queen to c8. Attacking here and pawn on h3. That's a very cool idea. Although in this position, perhaps, let's say bishop g5, queen c8, there is some knight d5 business. But I think, Sahaj bhai, this is great vision here that you saw that there is a double attack.
Maybe
Okay.
there's knight d5, bishop h3 business, but yeah, difficult. Actually, bishop g5 only चाल है यहाँ पे white के लिए. Otherwise, Humpy ji in some trouble.
Okay, so while we look at this one, she does play knight to d5, Humpy, and this is perhaps not the best move, but it's roundabout even. Let's go to the prodigy board. Board number 6, Volodar Murzin खेल रहे हैं यहाँ पर दानेश्वर बाल्डिया के साथ, and जभी भी Sahaj bhai, I see the bishop on this diagonal, I feel like भाई position बहुत sharp है.
हाँ, कभी ना कभी g5 आएगा and white will have this choice. Do I take on g5 or do I not take on g5? And that's, I think, something that both players will think about with each move.
Correct. So this is looking very interesting, and look at that frame there. You can see two young prodigies. Guys, Volodar Murzin, the world rapid champion in 2024. I think he's right now the best bet for Russia. You know, he's so talented, he's so good. He's grown up like along with the players like Pragg, Gukesh and all of them. He slowed down a bit, but right now he's looking like one of the best rapid players in the world.
I think he for sure would be one of my favorites going into the World Rapid and Blitz, yeah, because I think he is so dangerous when it comes to faster formats. And also, let's not forget, Daneshwar, he almost had a gift yesterday against Ronak with that bishop a3, and you know, whatever happened there happened. But I think जब ऐसा आपके साथ एक game में होता है, then you have this momentum because you feel like, okay, things are going well for me. So I think in this game, both players are, I think, quite dangerous, and it can go anywhere.
Correct. So let's go back to our icon board now. MVL versus Hikaru Nakamura. यहाँ पर खेल रहे हैं, And Sej bhai, you can see that the bishop did come out here. Knight is on c3, bishop b4, but Hikaru has started pushing his queen side pawns. I'm not really sure if this is a good idea or not, but as white, are you looking to go long castle, short castle, or leave your king in the center?
I would love to castle on the long side, but you have this knight f2 business, which attacks both of my rooks. So,
भाई ये देखो क्या खेल दिया है, bishop a6, and it's a question mark move.
भाई, I have another question here. Black किधर castle कर रहा है?
वो भी एक सवाल है. Actually, guys, remember castling rules के हिसाब से you can castle long side right now. In case if you are not aware, you might think, oh, the bishop is here, you can't castle, but the king is going from e8 to c8, तो castling हो सकता है.
I mean, bishop e6 check.
Sorry?
Bishop e6 check.
Oh, my mate, और ये side तो हो ही नहीं
वो
सकता.
side तो हो ये दो actually this is the type of position जहाँ पे दोनों side कहीं भी castling नहीं कर सकते, because if white castles on the long side there's knight f2.
Yeah.
If white castles on the short side there's b4.
And यहाँ पे rook attack होगा.
हाँ,
Oh,
it's
it's
like
such an interesting position, यार.
कोई भी castle नहीं कर सकता.
भाई एक बात बताओ, why is Hikaru's last move a mistake? Because bishop a6 looks so good right now.
भाई I think practically it makes sense क्योंकि उसने short castle रोक दिया. But I'm guessing कुछ like direct reasoning होगा इधर. You know, because of that it's bad. Maybe bishop e6 can be one of those moves to attack the f5 pawn.
Also, Sej bhai, you were talking that if I long castle, there is this knight fork that is coming in here. तो
Yes.
भाई क्या करते हैं? पहले knight को एक छोटा सा kick, knight goes back, and now I long castle.
And I think we are I think this is I don't know, it feels virtually
By the
winning.
way, look at that. We have the entire sort of stage there that you can look at, and Vladislav Artemiev just got up to see the other boards, because at this point I believe that he's thinking, is there something that I can offer a draw or something? No, not really. And then Hikaru gets up and he's looking at other boards. The Fire's American gambits are like, what's happening on the other boards? They really want to know.
I feel like this is important, yeah, for them, because to decide whether they should play for a win or not. I mean, they had a pretty nice, I think, match yesterday. So yeah, for Hikaru, I think this is super important. Also, all the bishop a6 is very dangerous. Bhai, what if I go d5?
Arey, Sej bhai ka tactics have begun here, guys. D5 is what he's suggesting. A pawn push right into the heart of the position. And Sej bhai, I have to congratulate you. It's a fantastic move, and it could very well happen. Maybe MVL will play it. Let's wait. MVL is taking his time. Guys, अच्छे players को ये समझ में आ जाता है कि ये critical moment है. This is the moment where I have to think. And that's the reason why right now MVL is taking his time.
Yeah, because he can sense it. This is the moment, and he can take down Hikaru. Yesterday also MVL played a wonderful game against Vishy sir. I mean defeating Vishy sir with the black pieces in Spanish is no joke. And he's definitely feeling it, and I think this is another very crucial moment for him.
I think MVL is that guy, you know, when he feels comfortable, the best comes out from him. And somehow the upgrade Mumba Masters have made him feel at home, you know, in his team, because he's been continuing right from the start. He has been the icon board for the team in Dubai, in London now. So he just feels like he belongs here.
Wow.
So लग रहा है कि भाई मुंबई मेरा शहर है.
Amazing.
So, oh, he
amazing.
goes bishop e5. By the way, he played h3. He pushed the knight, and now instead of long castling, which we were talking about, he plays bishop to e5, and perhaps not the most accurate move here.
Not really sure why this is bad, because black अभी भी long castle नहीं कर सकता यहाँ पे. There's bishop e6 check.
But bishop e6 check, can we not go king b7, Sej bhai?
And let's take that pawn on f5.
Aha, taking this pawn.
बार उतना पसंद नहीं कर रहा है इस move को, but I have an extra pawn. I feel happy.
Maybe there's some counterplay down the e files and the f file and so on. ठीक है, चलो ये position we can conclude that MVL is slightly better, but Hikaru भाई जिस तरह से defend करता है, he can maybe hold this position for now.
For sure, for
Okay.
sure. I think Hikaru, one of the best defenders, I think, in the world. So for sure he can defend this.
तो फिर एक सवाल ये है कि what is happening in this game between Wesley So and RT Maeve? Do you think this is also very even?
It is, but golden pawn has been touched.
Arey
Sagar bhai.
bhai, F pawn has moved, and Sahaj bhai, all those who follow his commentary always know that the F pawn, whenever it moves, is like, भाई golden pawn touch नहीं होना चाहिए.
Exactly. आरती में हमने touch कर दिया, अब थोड़ा खराब लग रहा है. Like maybe some F4 moves in the in the future, not right now.
At Humpy and BB Sara, काफी even लग रहा है सहज भाई.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. That pawn on H5 I think थोड़ा weird लग रहा था पहले. अब I think it looks fine.
Can we here take this bishop on B2?
I think so. Rook B1 आएगा maybe. Like black goes bishop G7 and I take the pawn on B7 and okay, we are again in equal territory more or less.
And this is very good for white. So that's the reason why Bibisara is not going to take this pawn. For now, Humpy is putting pressure here. But guys, ये वाला position भी काफी equal लग रहा है. What a match this is. यार सब जगह पे बराबरी. If we look at here, by the way, look at Humpy. Super focused, super calm there. And A5 played by Bibisara.
But you know, Sagar bhai, there is a big problem.
हाँ.
Bibi Sara having 13 minutes and Humpy ji having 7 minutes. And how many moves have been played?
भाई अभी तक तो सिर्फ we have had only, let me just see, 17 moves only have been played.
So 23 more moves to be played in 7 minutes. And उसके बाद 2 सेकंड का इंक्रीमेंट.
अच्छा भाई आप तो टाइम प्रेशर का ही सोच रहे हो ऑलरेडी.
भाई आधा टाइम तो that can be dangerous ना भाई थोड़ा सा.
Correct. Oh, and meanwhile, guys, Mahindra and Richard Rapport, board 3, the idea which we were talking about, said by it has happened on the board. A4 has been met with A5, and look at this Shatir move by Shakriyar Mahindra. He's like, देखो, if in this position, I went Rook B1, you would have defended Knight D7. So what I'm planning now is to actually first kill your knight and then get attacking this pawn.
Exactly, just pin कर दो. Pin is a win. Next move Rook B1 and I take the pawn on B6. Like what a smart move this is.
Too good. And guys, how does black react now? Should I go Rook B8 now? Do you think like I just put my rook here?
भाई that is a mistake.
Why?
Ooh, that's a good question. कुछ F4 वगैरह आ रहा है क्या?
Why you're playing that side suddenly here? Oh my goodness. And if I take here CD, and if you take CD here, boom! E5 by pura hi khol do and takes. And now for another giveaway here, guys. Anyone? White to play. What do you do here? Anyone? Bishop F4. There is a young boy in the crowd who is giving all the right answers and सारे chocolate ले लेगा भाई. इधर और एक रख दिया है. Maybe you can then distribute it to others. Bishop
Amazing.
F4. Amazing.
Nice find there. तो Bishop G5 के बाद Rapport in some trouble because Rook B1 आ रहा है and ये F4 का threat भी आ रहा है.
Does
What
that
do you do?
mean that the upgrade Mumba Masters on this board are looking really strong?
Yes, I think they are very good. By the way, he just played something, Rapport.
Did he play?
Yeah, he played something.
Bishop C6, the best move, making space for the rook to go here. If you attack this, very smart here. Smart play by him. And meanwhile, quickly going to the icon board, MVL and Hikaru में pawn push to B4, attacking the knight on C3.
Oof. So B4, knight A4 खेल के कुछ knight C5. Guys, I have to say कि, I mean, this team, the upgrade Mumbai Masters, I think they are playing so solid on each board. एक भी board पे problem नहीं दिख रहा है मुझे.
भाई वो लोग क्या आज एकदम ही ऐसे आए हैं कि we are not going to let our opponent get even 1 point ऐसे लग रहा है.
Like एकदम सब solid unity में बैठे हैं सारे.
But guys, in chess, when the time pressure comes, तब कुछ भी ऊपर नीचे हो सकता है. So right now, it's looking like upgrade Mumbai Masters is with the edge. But थोड़ा और टाइम जाने तो कुछ भी हो जाएगा सहज भाई.
बिल्कुल. And look at this. There is a beautiful tactic on the board right now. If you play knight F4, in this position, which looks natural because bishop E6 check का threat है.
Exactly.
I think I have bishop C4.
What? Oh, what a move this is.
भाई like रुके one check incoming.
This is
there
hanging,
is a
and if I
chance
take,
कि फंस सकते हो यहाँ पे आप.
take here, guys. Anyone black to play? If we can show our crowd here, भाई क्या ही ये माहौल बना है यहाँ पर in the Royal Opera House. We also have Dheeraj Adya ji here from Tech Mahindra sitting here, and so nice to see him following this encounter. Thank you, sir. And it is amazing to see, like, you know, people coming in here, enjoying this entire mahol, and then they can go inside, maybe inside the playing hall. Also, pura hi log can have the headphones and tune into the commentary.
Wow, that sounds a lot of fun. भाई माहौल तो बढ़िया बना है यहाँ पे.
Exactly. And by the way, guys, the man on the screen that you have, Mr. Dheeraj, I met him in Texas when I went over there, and they've created an absolutely amazing experience center. क्या दिखता है भाई वहाँ पे on the top floor? Sahaj bhai, you should go there.
I was there yesterday and I took so many pictures. Instagram will be popping soon.
भाई टेक्सास में जाना है in USA.
अच्छा, I thought you were.
Oh, and meanwhile, inside the playing hall, you can see so much of tension rising. Hikaru Nakamura is moving around. He's looking around and he's like telling his team, guys, don't worry. I'm doing well. And he's calculating. Takes.
But this is the current position, right? Where Hikaru has to sort of go for this idea with Bishop C4. I think that's what he has considered.
And Hikaru Nakamura ने वो move देख रखा है जो आपने बताया, and he's feeling confident. Yeah, let's have a look at all the 6 boards to just see, guys, in a screenshot कि भाई हो क्या रहा है यहाँ पर. As you can see, we have the 6 boards. Board 1 में white उधर, if you see is, if you look at just at the bars, सब कुछ बराबरी के आसपास है यार, सहज भाई.
Why also on the top left board he did eventually play f4.
अच्छा.
So now I think
तो वो गेम पे जाते हैं भाई, वो गेम पे. I think it's time for us to go back to Shakhriyar Mamedyarov versus Richard Rapport. Can we have that game, board number 3? भाई वो सबसे exciting game है. You did play f4, h6, bishop h4, and I'm a bit worried, Sahaj bhai, if I take here, what are you going to do? Because if rook takes f4, there's the move g5.
Which rook f6 can we take?
Whoa! Rook takes, queen
No.
takes.
Apparently it was not the best.
It was perhaps not the best, but I don't even know. What do you do here?
Kuch hai idhar. There must be something. Oh, beautiful. Yes, rook f1.
What a move!
Crazy.
What a move! And if you take here, this is hanging. If you take here, ये मर के ये मर रहा है. Man, insane tactics can happen on this board between Shakhriyar Mamedyarov and Richard Rapport.
Absolutely.
And meanwhile, can we quickly check what is happening with Harika on board number 5?
Another position जहाँ पे black ने h5 खेला and we have that bishop on g5. I think this one, I like Harika's chances way more because firstly, she has a double bishop advantage and secondly, she has more time on the clock. And by the way, उससे याद आया मुझे, look at the difference between Daneshwar and Volodar Murzin, the time difference.
Time difference,
That's like what?
But then we should go to that board because if you look at the time difference, not only is Daneshwar better on the clock, but also on the board, Sahaj bhai.
Wow, and I don't think this game has had more than what 20-25 moves. 3 minutes पड़े हैं Volodar के पास, and he's already much worse.
And he's attacking this. I'm pretty sure you have to take here. And now, do you take with the pawn or with the queen?
Wow, Daneshwar, I think, about to score his 2nd win in a row.
And there we see the clock there, guys. Daneshwar really playing well. Many people, when the teams were drafted, weren't sure how Daneshwar would do on the Prodigy board because not much has been known about him across the world. He hasn't won any top tournaments. Meanwhile, his opponent is the current world rapid champion. But this game shows that on the Prodigy board, it's not about the ratings. It's all about that feeling, can I contribute for my team?
Absolutely. And about managing your time well, managing the situation well. Oh, no. No ways.
Do you think this tactic is happening? Guys, there is a tactic in this position. White to play a normal move is to take the knight here, but there is something special here. I think it's a very tough move, Sej, but I don't think it's possible to find it.
No, I mean, if he's thinking, then maybe. By the way, he has made a move. He has
Made a
gone.
move.
Knight takes
उन्होंने
d4.
मार दिया है, but guys, there was a tactic with bishop takes pawn, king takes pawn, rook a7 check, king goes back to g8. I take the knight, you take with the queen or the pawn. Let's say you take with the queen, check here, king here, and boom, you enter. It seems like everything's protected, but now white to play, finish off the game. Someone here, क्या खेलोगे? अरे भाई क्या insane move, knight to f5, attacking here, and once you take, that is a checkmate.
हाँ, उसे अली रेजा का गेम याद आ गया कल वाला, because he also sacrificed 2 pieces and then believed in his attack. But yeah, very difficult sequence of moves.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen. It was a fantasy line there, but Daneshwar better, Harika slightly better, Shakriyar slightly better. Maxim equal now. It seems like Upgrad Mumba's master's decision of playing with the white pieces has worked out to some extent.
For sure, for sure. And this game, I think in specific, is the game that they can bank on, because literally you have triple the time of your opponent and you're in a +1 situation. Looks amazing. That bishop on b3 is a fantastic piece. Black का bishop जो 8 पे पड़ा है, like it doesn't have much of a future right now.
बंद पड़ा है यहाँ पर. So this is looking good for Volodar, for Daneshwar Bardia. By the way, there's one board which could potentially be dangerous for the Upgrad Mumba Masters, and the fires, American Gambits could fire here, and that is the board between Wesley So and Vladislav Artemiev. Sej, by this bishop on b3, I do not like it. It's too passive.
I think chances तो हैं यहाँ पे black के पास कुछ कुछ maneuver. Maybe the knight can go to h5, f4, something like that. But I think this is the same situation कि time up. I think black के पास बहुत कम है. He has 3 minutes and 39 seconds on the clock, and especially you don't have any increment for the first 40 moves. 2 seconds में like maneuver करना और technique दिखाना can be a bit difficult. So maybe like max you're hoping for is a draw here.
Yeah. And meanwhile, guys, Shakriyar Mamedyarov on board number 3. Let's go there. He is crushing it. And that did happen. What we saw, incredible. Rook takes, pawn to g5, rook f1. What a move. Why, too good, guys. Shakriyar Mamedyarov showing why he is one of the most aggressive and attacking players. He sacked the rook. He got back the knight. And now attacking both the rooks, playing bishop a4, queen b1, another classy move, rook e8, chop chop, and it seems like white is going to win here.
For sure, I think e5, queen f1, f7 ke pawn. By the way, also rook f1 was the first brilliancy of today.
Yeah. Definitely, first brilliancy of today, and I must say this was the move of the. अभी तक match नहीं बोल सकते because match is going on, but it could very well be.
Yes. If he delivers, like if he finishes it off, it should be more or less winning for him. If he finishes it.
Oh my goodness, guys! A big news. Daneshwar Bardia on the Prodigy board seems to be winning here. If we go, the last move by Volodar Murzin, going queen b7, not so good. Sej bhai, I want you to give your thought as a grandmaster. Is this looking over? Yeah, hai koi chance?
Firstly, of course, there must be some tactical method here to sort of convert the game. But I think it should be winning because opponent ke paas 1.5 minutes left, pade hain. For like 9 moves, and then they have 2 seconds per move, and it's impossible.
Oh, by the way,
no.
He goes knight c2, but guys, do you know what the winning line was? I can show you to just blow your mind.
It was... इसमें तो 3 chocolates.
3 chocolate g4 takes h5, takes or knight jumps in with a winning position.
Wow. Just sack 2 pawns and just play knight f5 slowly and something will happen.
Chess is so beautiful. Chess is so beautiful, but Daneshwar did not find it. He keeps his edge. It's not like he could have been totally winning, but it's still better for him. He's planning to enter with his rook. Bishop भाई यहाँ पर देख रहा है. I think this will be super tough for Volodar Murzin in 1 minute, as you say.
And now again G4 is working.
G4 नहीं होने वाला. Said by
let's
if
go.
G4 happens, I'm giving a standing ovation to Daneshwar Bardia here.
अच्छा अगली 3 moves में एक move G4 होगा.
भाई अगर हो गया तो
Standing ovation. Done by.
I will go and bow down to him. क्या ही move होगा अगर G4 होगा on this board? He has 8 minutes to work it out, but nerves would be there. Let's see if he finds it or not. Meanwhile, the match is getting exciting because Bibisara Asaubayeva on board number 4 has started to get an advantage against Koneru Hampi. So the Fire's American Gambits are not holding back their punches. भाई यहाँ पर भी हो रहा है कुछ तो.
And black से जीतने का मतलब 4 points extra.
Yes, that's very important.
1 extra point.
Look at this bishop perched into the heart of white's position. Another bishop here. Rook attacking this pawn. ठीक नहीं लग रहा है ये position for Koneru Hampi.
Yes, rook a2 looking very, very dangerous here. Maybe, I'm not even sure how you save this. Like, this is the type of position जहाँ पे आपको सोचना पड़ेगा.
Yeah.
At least for 1.5 minutes, and then you are in time trouble. That's a huge problem here.
And yesterday, Hampi lost to Polina Shuvalova. And now today, again, losing against Bibisara. It's not going to do good for her confidence.
Ooh, that's for sure. And losing with the white pieces.
भाई ये मैच इतना insane हो रहा है. If I give you the roundup, if we have the 6 boards on our screen right now, I want to show you what's happening, guys. So, while Shakriyar Mamedyaro is close to winning for the Upgrade Mumbai Masters and Daneshwar Bardia, on the flip side, Vladislav Artemiev is pushing against Wesley So, and Bibisara Asaubayeva is pushing against Hampi. तो मतलब एकदम deadly encounter हो रहा है. Meanwhile, Harika is like, Upgrade Mumbai Masters, I'm coming here. She's getting the advantage for her team.
Wow, and this is, I think, a position where you cannot lose as white. एकदम 2 results पे खेल रहे हो आप.
क्योंकि pawn up हो आप.
Pawn up हो, opposite colored bishop है, आराम से you can play. You don't have to rush here whatsoever. And she has more time on the clock as well. I think Harika has a very good chance.
Super play by Harika, and these are her kind of positions. She grinds it beautifully. I think that here Theodora has to be super careful.
Yes,
so
for sure.
ये वाला position, and
Wait, what?
no way did something go wrong. No, Daneshwar. Let's go to the prodigy board. Daneshwar Bardia is still dominating. Sej bhai, this is not going to change. I think white is going to take this one home.
Yes, for sure. I have to agree with you because look at this. If black goes bishop to h6 to attack the queen on g5, we have rook h8 check, yeah?
Oh my goodness. Let me just show that. If bishop came here, boom.
क्या
Takes,
चाल है?
check. King यहाँ गया. Boom.
Check, and you just take all the
Just
pawns.
clean up everything. Crazy. Okay, so let's quickly do a small roundup here. Let's go to the icon board. What do you think? भाई मुझे तो ऐसा लग रहा है आइकन बोर्ड पे कुछ भी हो सकता है. All 3 results possible. इतना complicated है. It's looking equal, but I mean,
It's just about like who's going to make the first mistake. Because
Yes.
दोनों का king unsafe है.
और दोनों
दोनों
का
के
time
pieces active हैं.
3 minutes.
दोनों के पास 3 minutes.
Oh, meanwhile, guys, Shakriyar Mamedyaro on board number 3. Oh, and meanwhile, I don't want to move because here Hikaru is pushing his pawns very fast down the board. But can the king come up?
I don't want to play king g1. I don't know why, but I just don't want to play king g1. It just feels so
भाई
risky.
mate हो जाएंगे ऐसे लग रहा है. But although the bishop controls the h8 square, so it looks safe here.
I was sack करके rook h2 वगैरह कुछ looks a bit dangerous.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Sej bhai, there is a big news. Let's go to board 2. Wesley So and Artemiev have drawn. And this is amazing news for the Upgrade Mumbai Masters. Kyuki this was the game that was looking slightly worrisome for them.
Absolutely. I think great news for the Mumbai Master. And I think with the black pieces making a draw against Wesley So is quite decent. But there are still 2 other matches जहाँ पे Upgrade Mumbai Masters को बचाना बहुत ज़रूरी है.
Correct. And Shakriyar Mamedyaro versus Richard Rapport. Can we go to board number 3 right now? भाई ये देखो क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पर. The bishop is insane. The queen is crazy. The rook is mind-blowing. भाई क्या ही position है ये?
I mean, I'm just looking for the mate, but I cannot find it. There must be a mate.
Mate नहीं हो रहा है?
हाँ.
पर हो जाएगा भाई, कुछ ना कुछ मिल जाएगा.
Rook
Let's
E6.
swing the rook here. कुछ तो करेंगे, मारेगा तो mate कर देंगे. Bishop D5. This is
कुछ तो है.
Oh, by the way, number 4 result, Humpy has drawn. Oh my
Wow.
goodness, that's huge. That's huge news for the upgrade Mumbai Masters. जो दो बोर्ड पे वो actually weak थे, वहां पर draw हो चुकी है, which means they are now dominating the match.
Absolutely. Board 1, board 3, board 6 are basically very close to being winning or just winning.
What's happening with upgrade Mumbai Masters? They are just like on fire here.
Wow.
17 पॉइंट किए थे कल और आज सारे ही सारे बोर्ड पर वो लोग they're not losing a single game.
Wow.
And let's go to now MVL icon board. One, a big mistake, Bishop B5 by Hikaru Nakamura. Why is this wrong? What's happening, guys? The main move here is Bishop F7. Very tough move. क्योंकि Bishop F7 खेलते ही अगर आप रुक को हिलाते हो, I go here and boom, this king is getting checkmated right into the position. Rook jumps in. Sage by, what a pretty checkmate is this?
Wow, it is insane. But there is another, like, I think very beautiful checkmate there. You can go knight takes d1. I think it happened after rook d1 check.
Yes, knight takes
एक
d1.
चाल पहले. एक चाल पहले.
Sorry.
One more move. Here. Knight
Take.
takes rook e7 check, bhai. Game khatam.
Oh, and by the way, number 3 board here is over. Shakriyar Mamedyaro, hum ye has won on board number 3. Oh, upgrade Mumbai Masters scoring the first blood. I mean, we expected this. Shakriyar Mamedyaro doing so well, and that is an amazing result. And meanwhile, guys, let's head over. MVL did not find this move. One board pe, first board pe jate, Hikaru Nakamura is attacking MVL's king. Is this going to be some kind of a mate?
He definitely has a repetition with rook g2 and rook h2.
भाई
But
repeat
Hikaru
नहीं
को पता
करेगा.
है कि वो draw नहीं ले सकता.
भाई repeat कर लेगा तो हार जाएगी उसकी team.
Exactly.
He has to win. Hikaru must win on demand here.
And he plays on. Rook takes e3 के बाद rook takes b3 का plan. And he believes in this position. He thinks he can win.
Wow. So this
1 minute for both players.
Oh, it
The
takes
pressure is rising.
and you can take the bishop. I mean, you have to, right? Yes, he takes. I think MVL will hold this. By MVL opposite color bishop, एक ही pawn down है, draw हो जाएगा, है ना?
You know, MVL, I think, would hold this against anyone, but सामने Hikaru है. You know, when Hikaru is playing, like, nothing is over until it's over.
Oh, by the way, Harika and Teodora Inyak have just drawn their game. This is good news for the Fire's American Gambits because Harika was better. So right now the score is 6-3 in the favor of upgrade Mumbai Masters. But a big result, Daneshwar Bardia has won on the Prodigy board, which means that upgrade Mumbai Masters have won the match 9-3.
Wow,
With
9-3.
only the main board going here.
A dominating performance by the upgrade Mumbai Masters yet again, consecutively.
Man, but Hikaru could win this. He has a winning position here. He can get 4 points. It won't be enough to win the match, but 9-7 is much better than, let's say, 10-4.
Yes, for sure. And he goes rook b3. He finds the win.
He finds the winning move here.
With Hikaru, this is always... He's such a tricky player.
I know the title of this game. If Hikaru wins, I think it will be Hikaru's first win as a dad.
Oh.
But it's not over. It's not over, guys. Let's see. Bishop moves up. अब ये pawn मर रहा है. यहाँ पर king ऊपर आ रहा है. Why can't I take this pawn as black?
Because then bishop takes g3 and that is the only reason why black is better or winning in this scenario because आपके पास वो pawn है g3 पे.
Oh,
You
तो
have
ये
to keep
बचा
that
के
pawn.
रखना है. इसको बचाना है
Yes.
हिकारू को.
King को आगे लाओ f5, g4, h3 and use that pawn to create some back rank problems. That should be the way that Hikaru plays and he has made a move.
By the way, guys, these are the best players in the world. But right now, MVL, who beat Vishy Anand yesterday, is going to lose this one. Hikaru Nakamura wins it. for the Fire's American Gambits. But guys, it was not enough. The upgrade Mumbai Masters have struck here 9-7. We can see in the dugout here, the team was celebrating. We had the owner Suhail Chandok here, who was so happy with this victory by upgrade Mumbai Masters, scoring their second consecutive win, and it feels like the host city, Mumbai, is really very lucky for them. Sehaj bhai, man of the match, definitely Shakriyar Mamedyaro ho jaye bhai. Kya hi khele.
Agreed. Rapport ko harana, wo bhi in this fashion, it deserves that for
Too
sure.
good.
For sure. Agreed.
I mean, the player of this match, the MVP, Shakriyar Mamedyaro, but also Daneshwar Bardia, hats off to him for beating the world rapid champion Volodar Murzin. Hikaru Nakamura, well, he tried his best. He showed from the front that, you know, I can beat anyone here, but it was not enough. We can see the scenes from the playing hall right now.
Exactly. Uske naam mein hi badhiya hai. Like he's 2 out of 2 and naam mein hi badhiya hai uske. So, you know, I feel like it's just meant to be for him.
Daneshwar Badhiya.
Exactly.
Oh, and by the way, there you see the American Gambits teams, the Fire's American Gambits on your right. The upgrade Mumbai Masters, they are smiling. Hari, who's the coach of the team, he's weaving his magic with the team there. And I guess now, at this point, I love this tradition, by the way, when they all shake hands of each other. There are smiles on the faces of the players.
Yes, unity dikh rahi hai, and there we have handshakes.
I love this. I love this. Sehaj bhai, I've never seen this happening in chess. I've always seen like two players shake hands with each other. But just to show the team spirit, just to show this, all of them shake hands with each other. Maza aata hai ye dekhkar.
Absolutely, absolutely. Shows sportsmanship for sure. Very nice. Wow. What a match it was, Sagar bhai. Maza hi aa gaya.
And guys, at this point in this tournament, too early to say anything, but the upgrade Mumbai Masters look so strong, and in the playing hall, we have the viewers joining in. Guys, if you are in and around Mumbai, do join us at the Royal Opera House. Every day there are 3 matches. First one starts at 5, second at 6:30, third at 8 p.m. You can come to the fan zone. You can go in and look at Hikaru there. He's analyzing with his team members.
Wow, he's just again that takes.
Oh, he's talking to MVL. They are discussing the game with each other.
क्योंकि last position में MVL did have a chance to equalize matters, but he messed up, I think, in time pressure.
And there we see, guys, the upgrade Mumbai Masters team coming out. Smiles on the faces of Wesley So, Shakriyar Mamedyaro, as the team owner Suhail Chandok, the CEO of the team, meets them and, you know, gives them those high five, the fist bumps. This and Hari is like, why Daneshwar Bardia did the job today.
Absolutely, and Mamedyaro as well. Both of them playing a fantastic match.
But I love these scenes here. It's so nice to see the team celebrating and the fans are there waiting. And meanwhile, MVL is like, bhai, I can celebrate later. Abhi to analysis zaruri hai. He is analyzing with Hikaru.
Proper chess player thing, yeah? Like to just discuss and get to the truth of the position, get to the truth of the game.
And there, I think this is really, you know, why they are the icons, guys. Win or lose, they love to analyze, and Hikaru with a smile on his face. He has done a great job today. He played some phenomenal chess, but the Fire's American Gambits fell 2 points short of victory.
Yep.
And we have the scorecard here, 7-9 in the favor of upgrade Mumbai Masters. Sehaj bhai, it was an absolute pleasure commentating with you. It's time for us to go for a short break, and on the other side, we'll see you again.
And Upgrad Mumbai Masters does it again with a 9-7 victory over the Fire's American Gambits. And we head over to Arohi for the player of the match.
Home team, home ground, home crowd, and a wonderful victory at home. That is how the Upgrad Mumbai Masters fared today. Hello and welcome to the post-match presentation ceremony of match number 4, played between the Upgrad Mumbai Masters and Fire's American Gambits this evening here in Mumbai. To present this award, joining us this evening is Mr. Bharat Singh Chauhan, the tournament director. And the player of the match award goes to Shakriyar Mamadirav from Upgrad Mumbai Masters. Shakriyar, congratulations firstly. How would you sum up today's victory?
Thank you very much. It was an amazing match, and I play a good game. Happy. I'm very happy to play a game like this because sacrifice and good game, and happy for my team. And I hope we will continue play like this.
2 wins in a row for the team. How's the season looking?
It's very good, you know. It's very good. Even win one match, but we won 2 matches in a row, and for this reason, of course, I am very happy.
You would like to say anything to all the teams that are going to play against you in the upcoming days?
I just want to say thank you very much for everyone, and tournament just start. We will see. Thank you.
Very humble here, but I'm sure you're not going to be so humble on board when you're playing against your opponent. Congratulations on today's victory.
Thank you.
That is it from the post-match. Back to you.
And I can't agree more with what Arohi just said. Shakriyar on the board. Absolute beast to face. What a fantastic attacking performance it was. 2 wins for the Upgrad Mumbai Masters. 1 win for the Fire's American Gambits on their icon board, but it wasn't enough as they went down 7-9 for the team that's quickly becoming the one to beat. The home team here, 17-4 yesterday, 9-7 today. They are on fire.
I don't think that they can be stopped. I think it's the home ground advantage.
Home ground advantage.
Home ground advantage, I feel.
And also, we have to talk about Daneshwar Bardia. He won 2 games in a row. Yesterday, he won a game because his opponent blundered. But today, he completely outplayed his opponent Volodar Murzin, who was the current world rapid champion. And I think no one was expecting this result from Daneshwar Bardia in Mumbai.
It was amazing to watch the whole match play out because usually if there's a win on the icon board, we see that team go on to win the whole match, right? But it wasn't the case. For Hikaru Nakamura to beat Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, a huge achievement, but it's got to hurt when that's not enough.
Absolutely, because Hikaru did win with the black pieces as well. And what a game it was. But still, it was not enough. And
I can hear
just
you.
coming back to Daneshwar.
The whole thing.
I mean, yesterday, I think what happened was a bit unfortunate for Ronak, but it gave him the momentum he needed.
Exactly, and here we can see the head-to-head results that we had from this match. Hikaru Nakamura winning with the black pieces, giving the Fire's American Gambit 4 points, but it was not enough. Not enough at all as Richard Rapport goes down with the white pieces along with Volodar Murzin.
3 draws, 2 wins for the Upgrad Mumbai Masters, 1 win for the Fire's American Gambits. This match was wrapped up, and to wrap it up, you know, the scenes outside here at the Royal Opera House as the team was walking out. We had team owner Suhail Chandok, he was there. He's always been a supporter of the game, of the team, always the first to be the loudest for his team. Team camaraderie and team spirit has been a massive factor for the Mumbai Masters.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we could see the excitement in Sohail Chandok's face. We could see the excitement amongst all the players as they were cheering for Daneshwar Bardia. Everyone was giving high fives, and it was definitely a happy team. Something very important in these team tournaments to have team camaraderie.
I want to talk a little bit more about that, Sahaj, because we've seen that in-team competition so incredibly different from an individual event. And Upgrad Mumbai Masters season after season have shown exactly the importance of it, you know, whether it's team dinners, whether it's team activities, you can always see them when they walk in, the high fives, they're there for each other. And I think these first 2 days really sets the tone for that.
And I would love to give a shout out to the coach of the team, Hari Krishna, who perfectly chose which color to start with on the first board. Yesterday, he chose to play with the black pieces. They whitewashed Ganges Grandmasters with 17-4. Today, he's like, let me have MVL play with the white pieces.
Oof, what a match that was. But of course, the excitement is just getting started. That was the first of the 3 matches today. Coming up next is Alpine SG Pipers against the Ganges Grandmasters. And we head over to Arohi for the color toss.
2 teams looking to secure some points on the scoreboard. We have match number 5 and the toss here. Praveen Thipse, who's representing Alpine SG Pipers, and Vishnu Prasanna from Navita Solar Ganges Grandmasters. Joining us for the coin toss, Bharat Singh Chauhan, Tournament Director, Mr. Ashok, Chief Arbiter. Mr. Praveen Thipse will be taking the call. Tails is the call.
Ganges Grandmasters wins the toss, decided to play black. Thank you.
Congratulations. Any particular reason for picking?
No, just we had white yesterday and we had a preference for black, I would say. And yeah, since we won, I just took black, yeah.
A tough day 1. How do you react to that?
No, it's not uncommon in this league that you get beaten once in a while. So it's a long event and we are looking forward to today and the rest of the games, and we are optimistic.
All right, all the best for your game. Thank you so much. Mr. Praveen, happy with the toss?
Well, I think one has to be, one has to decide because we don't know which color you are playing. So our players are prepared for both colors. Doesn't really matter.
You all had a tough day 1 as well. What was the conversation around in the camp yesterday?
I think yesterday, yes, it was okay. It was a narrow loss, 7-9, but 2 losses and only 1 win. That was a bit unfortunate. We had good positions on some boards, but somewhere, players were not able to adjust with the shortage of time, and most of the mistakes were made when they were in time trouble. So this is the part of the game, and we look forward to doing better rest of the tournament.
Hope you all have done your homework well. All the best for today.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is it from the coin toss. The news is that the Navita Solar Ganges Grandmasters have won the toss, opted black.
And they will be starting with the black pieces, which means for the 5-time world champion Vishy Anand taking black on the icon board against the world number 3 Fabiana Caruana. Of course, that's a match we'll get to. We'll break down all the action, but I want to just rewind a little bit because Vishnu Prasanna, he spoke about optimism as being a key factor here in the Global Chess League. It's early days, and I want us to go back to the action that we just saw. For the Fire's American Gambits, losing out a match where your icon board did win. We'll bring up our highlights from that match. Going forward, how do they keep the optimism? And it started on this board.
Yeah, I mean, Hikaru Nakamura could do what he could do best. He won with the black pieces. It was not enough though, but I'm sure this kind of gives motivation to the rest of the team that Hikaru is, here to help us. He is going to lead on the first board, on the icon board. And it was quite an equal game. Actually, MVL had some advantage. You could see Hikaru getting up, checking on his teammates there, shaking his head, not happy with some of his teammates' performance. But finally, G5 move. Very energetic play by him. And after King G4, MVL shook his hands in resignation and Hikaru won.
And what a fantastic play that was in the middle game and the end game by the icon board there, Hikaru, but not enough for them because there was this one guy on board 3, Shakhriyar Mamedyarov, coming in with the attack. And there we see the team that got it done. It was Shakhriyar with the win. It was Dhaneshwar with the win. We see Sohail Chandok, as always, cheering for his team, wants them closer than ever for a photo opportunity here. 2 out of 2 match victories for the Upgrad Mumbai Masters.
Absolutely, and that is thanks to the 2 players.
Standing next to each other,
Yep.
Shakhriyar and Dhaneshwar. And such a cute moment there as the whole team is smiling, waiting for a picture after they won their 2nd game in a row. Mumbai Masters, Upgrad Mumbai Masters is currently in the lead of the tournament.
They've got to be feeling good about the performance that they've gotten on so far at the Royal Opera House, 17-4 in their first match, and then coming in today with a big win against Hikaru Nakamura's team, the Fire's American Gambit, and of course the match of the player of the match. Even it was Shakhriyar Mamedyarov against Richard Rappo, and attacking a vintage Shakhriyar masterpiece. This one was.
It started off with a Nimzo Indian and he gave up the double bishop advantage, goes for this F3 idea, attacks on the king side. This beautiful move, F4, Rook A F1, the only brilliancy being played today, sacrifices the Rook, takes on F6 and just crushes his opponent.
And these kind of positions where there's a complete chaos on the board, Shakhriyar is extremely strong, and there you could see Richard could not believe how his opponent played. It was too good, and this win propelled Upgrad Mumbai Masters to get home the 3 match points. Very important for the tournament standings.
You know, the sea isn't far away from where we are right now, and it is the shark attack that we are seeing here at the Royal Opera House. Difficult to handle when that's coming for you, but it wasn't just that. Dhaneshwar as well with a brilliant game on his board. And let's bring up our standings as we go into match 5 action, and this is where we are at the very top. It is the Upgrad Mumbai Masters with 2 match victories right there. And look at the score difference when it comes to game points. And it all comes down to that 17-4 victory they had yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the match points are the most important tie breaks in this tournament. 6 match points, as you can see for the Upgrad Mumbai Masters. 3 match points for every win that you get as a team. And Upgrad Mumbai Masters is leading with 6 points. And now the next match that we have is going to be between Alpine SG Pipers, who's going to take on Ganges Grandmasters. Both the teams lost yesterday, and I'm sure they want to get some points on the leaderboard.
And choosing black here is... what do you think about that, Tanya?
It is quite a decision that was taken by the Ganges Grandmasters. I think especially seeing Hari start with the white pieces in the previous match, winning the toss, but here going their own ways. And I think it's a very different matchup coming on, right? Because we've got the Faiz American Gambit and the Upgrad Mumbai Masters, who actually had wins yesterday. The next matchup is between the teams that haven't gotten up on that scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, I think in this match, it's going to be crucial to have a look at the icon board between Vishy Anand playing with the black pieces against Fabiano Caruana. And if Vishy, who did not do well yesterday, he lost with the white pieces. If Vishy can strike on the icon board, I think the Ganges Grandmaster is going to win. That's my take. If Vishy wins on the icon board, the whole team wins.
I have to agree with you, but Vishy defeating Fabi, world number 2, is going to be quite a challenge. And on second board as well, I think it's a very difficult matchup. Anish Giri versus Vincent Keimer.
It's all across, right? You've got the 5-time world champion for Ganges Grandmasters. You've got the world number 4, Vincent Keimer there. The youngest ever World Cup winner, Javokir Sindarov. Those are just the top 3 boards of the Ganges that we're looking at. And of course, Alpine SG Pipers with their own very stacked team, starting with the world number 3, Fabiano Caruana on the icon board. We'll break it down all for you before we get on with the chess action. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to day 2 of the Global Chess League here live from the Royal Opera House in Mumbai. And we are headed towards the 5th match. We've already got 1 down. Still a lot of chess action to happen right here. A 9-7 victory is how we started the day for the upgrade Mumbai Masters there, taking down Hikaru Nakamura's American Gambits with 2 wins for the upgrade Mumbai Masters. What a team, what a camaraderie we've seen between them, and what intense, aggressive play by Shakhriyar and Badeshwar in that one. And before we deep dive into all the action, let's reset the stage right here, right now. Let's remind everyone the format, the structure of the Global Chess League. It's one like absolutely no other. We are in the group preliminary stages. It's all about finishing in the top 2. Teams will play each other twice with colors reversed, and you really want to make it to the championship battle. And what's most important are the match points, which come from the game points. Again, the scoring system, so incredibly unique, and this is what brings on the fighting spirit. Simply that black gets 4 points for a win.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is why we are getting to see players take a lot more risk with the black pieces, playing provocative openings. We saw Harika playing the pork opening yesterday, which gave her the full points. If you win with the white pieces, you get 3 points. A draw, you get 1 point, just like traditional chess. And of course, if you lose, you get nada.
And that's what came to play, right? Hikaru won, but it was only enough to garner 4 points, and 2 wins by white there in the previous match for Upgrade Mumbai Masters, taking leapfrogging into that leaderboard. This is the match structure. The highest number of points of match is what gets you to the finals. 3 points for a win, 1 for a draw. You lose the match, you get no points at all. And also, of course, there is the time control, which guarantees excitement and blunders.
Absolutely, 20 minutes per player. And a 2-second, just a mere 2-second increment on move 40, which is basically nothing. So definitely making draws in such a format is very, very difficult. And I believe the teams can only draw if all of the matches are a draw, correct?
Exactly. If all the matches draw, that's the only way that we are going to see a draw, because if black wins, you get 4 points, which makes this tournament very, very exciting. And I think that the match that we have coming up is very exciting.
And that's the reason that we see such few draws in mostly decisive games. But now, let's set the stage for the action that's coming up. It is the Alpine SG Pipers taking on the Ganges Grandmasters. GGs will start with the black pieces in this one, chosen by Vishnu. What do you think? Will it be GGs for the GG?
Oof, it's very, very difficult to say. We can go match by match and then make a prediction at the end. What do you guys say?
I think that's a great idea, because I'm very interested to see what your predictions are going to be.
Let's bring that up. Your wish is my command, and there we have it in front of us. I'd love it if we start from the Prodigy board. So many games getting decided on that one. It's an all-Indian clash with Mendonça versus Ronak Sadhwani. Now, Ronak, the big question to me is, has he recovered from the one-move blunder on day 1?
I saw him yesterday, and I can assure you that he has recovered.
Ooh.
He is here.
Tell us more.
I think he's going to go for a win today, and I'm going to pick Ronak.
I mean, this is going to be a big match, as you said, Tanya, because if Ronak is unable to, get over his loss yesterday, it's going to mean that Leon Mendonça will get those 3 points for Team Alpine SG Pipers. This is going to be a close one. I'm not sure whom to root for. I think it's a toss-up. But Anside says Ronak is a favorite. So let's go with Ronak.
All right, so that's both Harshit and Sahaj saying that a slight edge to Ronak Sadhwani. Let's move on to our women board. And I want to just talk a little bit about that. I think the superstar women boards that we've been seeing have been bringing on so many of those decisive results. We had Polina's win against Humpy, Inyak's win against Sara. We had Nino Batsarashvili beat Alexandra Kostanjuik yesterday. On the Prodigy board as well, the wins that we saw by Dhaneshwar yesterday and today. The junior and the women board, are these the game changers for these teams?
I have a feeling that they absolutely are, because most of the results that happen on this game are deciding who wins the match overall. And Stavrul, I was talking to her during lunch today. She was not very happy with how she played yesterday, but she feels good here and she's ready to perform her best today.
Are you picking Stavrula over the chess queen slayer, Nino Batsarashvili?
I studied in the same university as Stavrula and it's hard for me to root against her, so I'm going with Stavi.
I will choose Nino in this match. And what about you?
I get to break the tie, as always,
Yes.
putting me on a spot. You know what? I am the neutral host right now. So I think I can dodge that question. But I was so impressed with Nino's performance yesterday against the chess queen. And also for Stavrula, this is her debut. Nino has been on the Global Chess League stage before. I think maybe experience will give a slight edge to her. But going to be a big battle. And let's move on to the next one. It's going to be Hu Yifan taking on Polina Shivalova.
I've been such a big fan of Hu Yifan since a very young age, and whoever Hu Yifan plays against, I kind of think that she's going to be a favorite because I still get reminded of her beautiful wins when she was world #1, and I'm definitely going for Hu Yifan in this match.
I think the same here. I mean, she is the second greatest female chess player ever, and she's playing with the white pieces. How can she not be a favorite?
Head to head, Lana. Head to head.
So we think that Hu Yifan is going to be a favorite for Alpine SG Pipers here. Moving on to one board.
And I know which board you want. Before we do just that, I want to bring our head-to-head lineup because we've gone halfway through, our lineup. We've covered the women's superstar board. We've got our prodigy board. But look at that top three that we've got between the two superstar men and the icon board. What a matchup this is. It's between the two candidates player. They will fight for a World Championship Challenger spot in March in 2026 in Cyprus. Pragnananda versus Javokir Sindarov. I'm going to say it first before you two take this away. I think this is where the match gets decided.
And it might even, it's also such an interesting match because the players have to do their best to not show the preparation that they have in the candidates match. By the way, Javokir Sindarov won the World Cup, qualified for the candidates. Pragnan, on the other hand, was the first player in the GP points and just last week confirmed his spot in the candidates. And I kind of agree with you that this is going to be a game to follow.
It is very difficult to, choose a side here between Pragg and Sindarov because both of them are such strong players. Candidate players, of course, I'm going with Pragg.
Pragg?
Love it. Before, just want to jump in with one thing. I think when I look at these two players, Harshit, I feel that these two players have been massive performers of 2025. Pragnananda, like you said, with the FIDE circuit, which means consistent performances over tournaments. Sindarov coming fresh off a victory, just about 500 kilometers down south from where we are right now in Bombay, in Goa. Who can forget what happened in Goa just a couple of months, not even a couple of months ago. Not even a month ago. Javokir Sindarov winning the entire World Cup. This is a clash not only between two youngsters, between the front runners of, the new generation, but also let's talk about the India versus Uzbekistan rivalry that's growing over the years.
Yeah, we've had Abdusarov Nadirbek, one of the best players from Uzbekistan, but there was like 1 or 2 days when Javokir Sindarov overtook him. They came to India in 2022 in Chennai, won the Olympiad, and then Javokir comes to India, wins the World Cup, and this rivalry between the top 3 Indian players, Gukesh, Arjun, and Pragg, is growing between Abdusattorov Nadirbek, Javokir Sindarov, and Yakuboev Nadirbek. And here we see the team of Alpine SG Pipers, Fabi and Anish Giri, the two heavyweights leading the pack of the team. The rest of the team is going to be just behind them, and as you can see, Pragnananda joins the fray.
And as Fabi makes his debut here at the Global Chess League, Anish Giri, he's no stranger to the format. He was the one who led the PBG Alaska Knights in the previous season towards the finals, but this time he's going to be fighting it out for the Alpine SG Pipers on board too as the team does get ready. Fabi, big shoes to fill as he is leading the team. It's not Magnus Carlsen this time who's been the icon for the team over the last 2 years. Pragg looking like they're in good spirits right now, Sahaj.
Oh, good spirits indeed, because it is such a heavy match for both of these players between Anish and Fabi. Who's your pick?
I am going with the Alpine SG Pipers in this match, but look at Pragg. He has the flag in his hands. Teen bhai, tino tabai, Pragg, Fabi and Anish. They're ready. They're ready for the action to roll.
And this is the moment in the tournament you want to start getting rolling right there, right? Because you lost that first match. You want to get up on that leaderboard. You want to get those points in. And there we see Grandmaster Praveen Thipse with their flag of the Alpine SG Pipers right there, getting ready for the matchups. And of course, we're going to have the Ganges Grandmasters with their yellow jerseys as well, walk in super quick. By the way, I have to say that in the jersey competition, I quite like this one.
Oh, really? I think it's maybe my second favorite. I'm not going to say which
what's your
one's
first
No,
favorite?
no, I'm not going to say that.
For
But it's
me,
my second favorite for
For
sure.
me, it's the upgrade Mumbai Masters jersey because I'm such a green flag that I can relate to them.
Very interesting. I wonder who has those red jerseys then. But the action, of course, is about to begin. And we've got so many fans right here behind us, all waiting, watching the players as they're coming in. And of course, we've got fans in front of us as well, waiting for all the chess action as we're about to get started. I'm loving the scene going into match 5 right now. Goosebumps.
Absolutely. And you know, in this match, we have seen Fabiano Caruana, who's talking to Anish Giri. I'm very curious if they ever talk about like opening ideas, should we do this? But right now they're in good spirits, and I do think that it's all about being in good spirits in a team event. And you can see all of them talking to each other, cheering each other, talking about, you know, maybe the atmosphere that they have here in Mumbai. I'm sure this is new for everyone coming to Mumbai and experiencing this amazing organization.
Yeah, and nerve-wracking moments right before the start of the game. You know, the fans are waiting, the players are waiting. So let's get you up to date with our leaderboard as it stands right at the top. It is the upgrade Mumbai Masters with their win against the Fire's American Gambits. And right now in action will be the Alpine SG Pipers, who will be taking on the Ganges Grandmasters on the top board. The two icons, a fight between the world number 3, Fabiano Caruana, the 5 times US champion, taking on the legend himself, the 5 times world champion, Vishy.
Oh my God. I mean, we could only get to the match of Pragg and Jawakir. We were talking about how exciting it is. There is also this huge match between Anish Giri and Vincent Kaimer that's going to happen on the first Superstar board. And here you can see Praveen Tipse walking with the flag, Pragnananda behind them. And here you can see Nino Batsiashvili, the icon, followed by Leon Mendonça, the prodigy, and then Huifan. And here you see the other team, Ganges Grandmaster, led by their coach Vishnu Prasanna Tanya.
This is amazing. Vishnu Prasanna there behind him. The legend himself, Vishy Anand. Then the world number 4, Vincent Kaimer. Everyone getting ready. Prodigy board, Ronak Sadhwani. Our superstar women players as well. And of course, the youngest ever World Cup winner right there, Shavukir Sindarov in the mix. You've got Polina along with Solakidu. They're getting ready for their matchups as they're about to enter the arena. By nerves at this moment.
Exactly. The players must be feeling the jitters right now as they're about to enter the arena. And it's all about the person in the arena, not the critic who counts. And this is going to be a very exciting clash between the two teams that lost yesterday.
And I love how we've broken it all down, board by board, player by player. Harshit, Sahaj, moments away from the first move. Pick one. Who takes it? Is it going to be the Alpine SG Pipers or the Ganges Grandmasters?
I want to go with Vishy sir because it's Vishy. Okay, I will go with Ganges Grandmasters. Let's go.
And I'm going with Alpine SG Pipers, and as I'm banking on Pragnananda and Anish Giri to do well on the Superstar boards.
All right, well, the stage is set. You saw the teams. They are walking into the arena to get the first move started across boards. Our panel here, not even sure who takes it. It's going to be a closely contested battle between the Alpine SG Pipers and the Ganges Grandmasters. And we come back with all the chess.
A team full of stars ready to raise the bars. Please give it up for Alpine SG Partners! Their coach Praveen Tipse, along with the players Fabiano Caruana, Pragnananda, Anish Giri, Hu Yifan, Nino Batsiashvili, and Leon Mendonça. And now, class, consistency, and global excellence come together as this team takes center stage. Please welcome Navada Solar Ganges Grandmasters. With their coach, Vishnu Prasanna, we have the players, 5 times world champion, Vishwanathan Anand, Vincent Kaimer, the World Cup winner, Javokir Sindarov, Stavrula Solakidu, Polina Shuvalova, and Ronak Sadvani. All the best to all the players. And now for the first move, I would like to call upon Mr. Dheeraj Adya, COO Global Chess League, along with the tournament director, Mr. Bharat Singh Chauhan.
And we have Dheeraj Adya here, the CEO of the Global Chess League, who will be making the first move on the board of Vishy Anand versus Fabiano Caruana. And joining me for commentary on this one is Grandmaster Harshit Raja.
Let's go, bhai. As you can see on the screen, the stage is set. Anish Giri taking on Vincent Kaimer. The big clash between Pragg and Javokir Sindarov. Howie Fan taking on Polina Shuvalova. And the other match between the superstar women was between Stavrula taking on Nino Batsiashvili.
And Ho Yifan versus Polina Shuvalova. This is going to be an exciting encounter. And there we see the first move by big pressure on Vishy Anand's shoulders here.
E4 is my prediction. What do you think? I'm going with E4.
You mean Fabi's move or the guest's move? Dheeraj plays C4. He's played the English opening, bhai. That's very cool.
And he takes it back. Fabi takes it back. So
My feeling is Fabi goes 1 E4 as well, Harshit bhai. I agree with you. And but first we'll start on the women's boards. We go to Ho Yifan on board number 4 versus Polina Shuvalova, and a handshake here between Nino and Stavrula. We have pawn moves there as well.
The wind, the moves are flowing, the wind is blowing. A lot of moves between the game of Howie Fan and Polina Shuvalova. Can we have our live board so that we can follow all the players as they're blitzing out the moves in the Spanish opening? And here we have it.
The moves are coming in, Harshit bhai. Not yet. The board is not updating. If we can go full screen on the players till we get the moves. Yes, there we have it. And slowly and steadily, guys, we will be getting the moves in right now. There we have it.
Let's go.
Okay, let's look at the board here. And
kickoff also.
Top board has started between Anish Giri and Vincent Kaimer here.
Here, kickoff between the game of Pragg and Javokir. The two players already in the candidates. E4 played by Pragg there.
Oh, that's a good one, Harshit bhai. Let's go to Pragnananda's board with Javokir Sindarov on board number 3. And we see an Italian happening here. Bishop C4, if we can get the chessboard now. Knight to F6, D3 played, Bishop E7. And guys, you will be able to see the moves very shortly. But what an encounter between Pragg and Sindarov. And you know, Harshit bhai, I must tell you this, that whenever Pragg would play Javokir Sindarov, I would always feel Pragg was the slight favorite. This is the first time I have a feeling that they've become equal now because of what Sindarov has achieved in the last few days.
Yeah, he's really improved a lot. Put his, game on the sports mode right now. Is winning tournaments left and right. He's playing with the black pieces right now, and I do think that his strategy would be to hold Pragnananda, as Pragg playing with white pieces is definitely going to try to put pressure. Develops his knight to D2, and here, by the way, we are waiting for.
Sindarov is thinking here, and meanwhile, guys, let's quickly go to Anish Giri versus Vincent Kaimer on board number 2. And there we see It's an English opening, but a very weird opening chosen by Vincent Keimer here. He removes his bishop to b4, pawn to e4 by Anish Giri.
And what's the idea of Vincent? Does he want to give up his bishop early on in the opening on c3?
He might take. He might take on c3. And by the way, we have... And we have a handshake
let's
here
go.
between Fabi and Vishy Anand. So many fans here. Bhai, kya hi maza aa raha hai idhar. Let's see what's the first move that will be played. And Leon opens with d4. But let's go to Vishy.
Yes, let's
Vishy
stick
and
with
Fabi.
Vishy.
Bhai, yahi game hai, dosto.
It reminds me of the song Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. This game will definitely be a game which we will follow very closely. It's the open Rylopes. E4 played by Fabi.
Yes.
E5 played by Vishy. Knight to F3. Knight C6. Bishop B5 played by Fabi. A6. We saw this opening played by Vishy yesterday. Now playing with the black
A4,
pieces. Bishop
Knight
A4.
F6.
Knight F6.
And look at the speed at
Oof.
which they are blitzing out their moves, Harshit Bhai. This is very interesting because Vishy is well known for his theory, and he's just going here totally like full throttle. Knight e4. Maybe we will get the moves updated on chess.com as the moves will come here. But guys, just a big encounter here between Vishy and Fabi. If we can go full screen on them and just feel the atmosphere. Do we have that shot, Director Saab, where we can see like the entire playing hall of all the players from the top? Because just for our viewers to feel that atmosphere, look at this, guys. You can sense it here. There is so much of excitement, and there's a big screen up there, Harshit Bhai, where everyone can follow from the crowd as well. They have the headsets, they can follow the commentary. So it's a really cool atmosphere.
I tried to experience it myself between the break. I went inside the playing hall, I put on the headphones, and it became so entertaining. As soon as you take the headphones off, it becomes pin drop silence. And this is a very nice experience for all the spectators to have. You can even sit on the balcony and get like a bird's eye view on all of the games. It's nice that they have the screen in the middle so that the players can listen to us and follow the live games.
And by the way, there we see on this one, we have
Leon Mendonça taking on Ronak Sadhwani, the prodigy board. Ronak trying his best to, not let yesterday's loss affect him. He's taking his time, and I like this attitude. Just take his time, get into the flow of the game, and then later on he can try to play quickly. But it's very important that the players are in this flow, the flow state that we are always talking about.
And by the way, while he is, maybe we can have the board, live board of this one.
And we come back to the icon board, the game between Fabi and Anand. We are going to get the live board with us very shortly so that we can see all the moves.
We have the board back, the analysis board here. Let's have the analysis board. It is fixed here. And meanwhile, guys, you won't believe what's happening in the fan zone. We have Daniel Dubov
Can
here
we show that?
in the house. Guys, give it up for him. Daniel Dubov is here, and he is playing a simultaneous exhibition here. So nice to see him.
What a moment for all the youngsters to play against Daniel Dubov, one of the great players who also played in the World Cup, defeated Pragnananda, an absolute monster when it comes to rapid chess. And I'm sure, he's just waiting for an opportunity to get inside the playing hall and show why he's one of the best players. But a great, very nice of him to come here and give this simul.
Yeah, that's just amazing. And it's very nice to see him.
Here you can see around 20 players who get this opportunity to play with Daniel Dubov. They're very excited and potentially waiting to you make an upset, but I'm sure Daniel is going to be focused here. Meanwhile, we have the live position on the board. Fabiano Caruana with 19 minutes on his clock. He is known as one of the best, opening experts in this era. But, in this classical opening, Spanish opening that we have played, Vishy Anand has tons of experience. I personally think that this game is going to end in a peaceful result. What's your take, Sagar bhai?
Let's have the board to analyze now, guys. Here we have the board, and at this point, Harshit bhai is of the opinion that this will end in a draw. But Harshit bhai, it's too soon, right? Like, look at Vishy. He's bleeding time right now. He's down to 16 minutes. Fabi has 19 minutes on the clock. He's well prepared.
And what do you have to say about this maneuver? Look at this. He placed his queen on e1 here. Very surprising. Allowing black to capture the knight on f3 and spoil the pawn structure. Knight goes back to c5. Knight d2. Knight e6.
Yeah.
At some point preparing the move pawn to d4 and now queen e2.
Calmly playing here. Bhai, Fabiano Caruana is a monster when it comes to opening preparation. And this is really something very cool that he is doing right now with Vishy Anand. I think he might be facing a bit of confidence issues here because yesterday was a tough game for him against MVL. But Harshit bhai, do you think today he'll come back?
I do think so, because we saw how good he can play in the Jerusalem Rapid tournament. He defeated Jan Nepomniachtchi in the semi-finals, qualified to play the finals against Arjun Erigaisi. That was a draw in the Rapid segment. In the Blitz, Arjun Erigaisi toppled Anand there. But for him to reach the finals of such an elite tournament at this age definitely tells me that in this game, he is not going to lose again.
And look at Vishy there. Some doubt in his mind here. He has castled, and very quickly Fabi responds with rook e1. He's putting the pressure on Vishy. He's like, okay, Vishy, come on, show your preparation here. But Vishy is out of his prep.
And do you think that because Fabi has qualified for the candidates, he's been preparing a lot of the openings, he is going to use one of these ideas? Or do you think he won't?
Fabi is preparing openings from years and years. This guy is at the top for well over now 1.5 decades. So, you know, he has things worked out. He's constantly working. I think one of the most hard-working players out there in the world of chess.
And this is definitely going to be exciting to see how this game develops as Vishy is trying to figure out where the pieces should belong.
Look at Daniel Dubov here. He's playing a simul against close to 20 opponents. I'm very curious to see if anyone will be able to get a half point from him or not. Or maybe he will sacrifice in some of the boards. This will be so cool.
You know, Daniel is so strong that even if he gives the simul blindfold to two of us right now and plays all 20 players, he still has a great chance to win.
So guys, if you are looking for an opportunity to come and feel this chess atmosphere, then what are you waiting for? It's at the Royal Opera House in Mumbai here. It's such an amazing atmosphere in the live fan zone. Look at the Royal Opera House all decked up. And if we can have shots of also inside the venue to see the viewers who are actually enjoying that broadcast, because, you know, you can sit out, you can follow the action here, and there we see everyone here. Guys, you can be there and have a lot of fun.
Come to Mumbai, Habibi.
This is the place to be. If you are in and around Mumbai, don't miss this opportunity.
Okay, let's come back to the games now, as we've seen some development on the board. Can we quickly go to the game of Pragnananda and Jawahir Sindarov, board number 3?
No, but
we can have, Anish,
Harshit bhai, we have to go to Anish Giri versus Vincent Keimer. And you can see that the last move of Vincent, in fact, not just the last move, but this entire opening strategy seems to be very risky.
And Anish is someone who loves to play the objective moves. He's someone I've followed a lot of his games personally to understand where the pieces belong. And this last move of black pawn to c5, does this allow some tactic? You know, this move pawn to e5 and the Greek gift, guys, if
so
black takes
let's
c5,
ask
c4,
our viewers here, if you take here
white to play,
what would you play here for? A chocolate here that we have a giveaway, a
I will
melted
throw
joy
it
chocolate.
if someone finds
Why
it.
don't throw, bhai?
Bhai, upar se dalenge.
What's the move here? White to play. Anyone? Yes, you want to try? Go for it.
Yes.
No?
No.
Okay. What's the move here? White to move.
Boom, I'll give you a hint. It's some sacrifice.
Maybe we can... Everyone's so busy. Daniel just looked at the board.
He's
Yeah,
like,
he's
"What
looked
is
at
this
it a
easy
second.
question?"
I think he's like, okay, of course.
Tushar.
Yes. Bye, what's the move?
Bishop takes
H7.
Boom.
What a move. Tushar Bhai on fire. Take here, check.
Check.
And
the
now
queen.
the king, if it goes back, the queen enters in and it is a deadly, deadly attack.
Bhai, does he deserve to get this melted joy chocolate
He
right
deserves,
now?
but Bhai, are you going to throw it?
Let's try, Bhai.
Okay.
Tushar, Bhai, are you ready? Can I do it?
Do it, Bhai.
Huh?
Yes, go for it.
Oof. No. Someone could.
Not bad, not bad. Harshit Bhai missing the aim here, just like how Anish Giri missed the move E5 here, did not play it A3, but still his position very promising.
He's going for this, classical approach. He has great center. The pawns on C3, D4 and E4 gives him this opportunity of opening up the position with E5 at some point. And guess what? He has the bishop pair, which goes hand in hand with having a good center, because once the position opens up, we are going to look at these two bishops turning into rockets as Greek gift ideas lurk in the air.
Right, okay. So looking good, although a big opportunity, I mean, I can't say missed, but it was looking pretty good there for Anish Giri. Actually, the Alpine SG Pipers are looking strong here, Harshit Bhai, because you see, Fabiano is slightly better on board 1. Then we have Anish Giri, who's clearly better on board 2.
Pragg, what about this game? Can we actually understand what has happened in
On
this game?
board 3, if Pragnananda and Javokir Sindaro we go here, it does look objectively even,
Amazing for
but I
White.
love White's position.
I was about to say, why is White not significantly better? Because this bishop puts pressure on the pawn on F7. The bishop on B2 and queen on D4 have set up this wonderful battery. I do think that a good idea for Black would be to neutralize one of these bishops by playing the move bishop to E6. I do think that they should...
By the way, Harshit Bhai, look at the 6 windows there, 6 boards on our screen. And guys, you will see that White bar is doing well in most of the boards. So actually looking good for the Alpine SG Pipers, but the Ganges Grandmasters need to strike on one of the boards. It could very well be that Polina Shuvalova might strike. It could be that Javokir Sindaro may strike. It could be that Stavrula Solakidu might do it, or Raunak Sadhwani. But right now, Anish Giri is looking strong against Vincent Keimer.
And just to remind everyone, if you win with Black, you get 4 points. So even if you lose one game with the Black, let's say there are 2 games, and you decide to play risky on both those games, if you lose one of the game, but to win the other one, it's still a big success. So actually, it's not such a bad strategy to gamble with Black and play some risky openings.
That's what Vincent Keimer has done. And that is the reason why he could fall into trouble, Harshit Bhai. But for now, he's thinking. Anish is thinking for his move right now. Let's go to the icon board. Fabiano Caruana versus Vishy Anand right now. The bishop has moved to E3 for Fabi. And here, how do we see this position?
Knight to A5, Rook a D1. It's so easy to make the moves with the white pieces. Very easy to improve White's position as White brings the Rook from A1, which was not doing anything, to D1, which now puts pressure on the D5 pawn, and also indirectly the queen on D7. And you know, sometimes when the moves come naturally and easily to you, even if the computer says objectively it's equal, there is a practical advantage that the white pieces has right now. Knight can come into G3, and then also don't forget this maneuver of the Harry, H-pawn, H4, H5 coming in.
So for now, Fabi seems to be putting pressure on Vishy Anand, and Vishy has to figure out what to do, because, you know, in some way, Black is willing to create this center, but the D5 pawn is a bit of a weakness in this position. Later on, we could very well imagine a B3 and C4 break coming in.
I'll give a very important point that I wanted to mention, that whenever White has a pawn on E5, the pawn has been advanced. This does act as a catalyst towards White's attack, as Knight G3. White has this space in the center, and the attack coming on the king side comes much more naturally. However, Black sometimes has this idea of playing this move pawn to F5. And the knight on E6 is like a blockader of the E5 pawn. One thing that you have to be worried about when you play F5 is en passant. Don't forget this sneaky move that White can play pawn takes F6. So these are the dynamics that Vishy needs to consider. C5 played.
And knight to g3 as well by Fabi. He's actually moving quickly. He has a 4-minute lead on the clock. And Harshit Bhai, we must look at few other games. Nino Batsiashvili on board number 5 against Stavrola Solakidu. Stavrola is from Greece and Nino from Georgia. Right now, Nino actually looking quite good with the white pieces. She's a pawn up. Oh, yeah, pawn up.
Exactly, she's a pawn up because the pawn on f7 is missing.
Yeah.
But you know, black has this very strong center. The pawns on c5 and d4. And what black is banking on is for that black bishop on c8 to somehow, you know, get in the game. If the black bishop gets in the game and black gets bishop f5, d3 somehow, that would obviously give black an advantage. But let me also remind you that yesterday, Nino Batsiashvili defeated the chess queen, Alexandra Kostyniuk. And I'm sure Nino Batsiashvili is riding high on confidence right now.
Oh, she plays her pawn to a3. And at this point, the knight can jump in. The knight can jump here. I have a feeling that Stavrola has the initiative here. In spite of being a pawn down, she can put a lot of pressure on her opponent. This game can go anyway.
This is such a nice maneuver. Just before we move to the next game that you mentioned, the knight on f6 can definitely be a piece which can be improved. The knights on f4 and c4 would be absolutely great for black. Here you can put it on f4, knight d5 to f4. Puts pressure on this pawn. The bishop on e2. And this looks like a great compensation for black. Can we also look at the prodigy board? Because Ronak Sadhwani is actually having a great result in their personal encounters. He's +2 if I'm not mistaken. He defeated Leon in the Fujairah Masters that happened last year. And Ronak kind of played this hedgehog setup with g6 and b6. He's like, is bar mera bishop nahi marne wala hai.
This is not a hedgehog setup, Harshit Bhai. It's called the hippo setup.
Hippopotamus.
The hippo is characterized by this little, you know, kind of structure. And it's so flexible because, you know, hippo, as we all know, kind of likes to lie around in the water, is lazy. But the moment someone comes close to it, it strikes back. So there's no way for white to make progress here on the black center, and black's position is looking quite good.
It is looking quite good. And notice the rating difference. In the rapid ratings, Ronak Sadhwani has a rating of 2611 compared to Leon's rating of 2498. And this advantage in the rapid segment, in the quick time control, maybe there is a reason that there is this rating difference, as Ronak is showing that even having this cramped position but waiting for my perfect opportunity can be a good strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. And so flexible. F5 can come in, E5, D5, C5. All the moves are possible. Guys, this one, if we look, this match is right now definitely looking pretty good for the Alpine SG Pipers. Let's go to the icon board between Vishy Anand and Fabiano Caruana.
We were talking about the knight on f4, but Fabi has managed to plonk his knight on f5. And you know, as soon as the knight comes to f5, ideas like g4 don't really seem that crazy anymore because the center is kind of close. And this does give white the opportunity of just, you know, cementing that knight on f5, which can also, you know, act like a great attacking piece. Ideas like bishop h6 are not going to be that crazy at some point in the future.
Harshit Bhai already looking for checkmates here. But should we take this bishop?
No, why? Just go g4.
Because if we take this bishop, we are exchanging our very nicely placed knight for the bishop. So maybe at this point, g4, as Harshit Bhai says, could be the best move.
And this is a very important point that you mentioned, because very often when we see a capture, we tend to want to capture it immediately. But we need to ask ourselves, is this a capture beneficial for me or not? Because the knight on f5 has such good potential. Whereas if you look at the bishop on e7, which is kind of restricted by its own pawn on c5, I don't really see a big future for him. And that's why I think it's better to keep our knight on f5.
Okay. Okay. So, oh,
and
he plays g4, Fabi, showing his class here. But Vishy, now, how can he create his counterplay? The knight is here. He must be looking for the d4 breakthrough. But right now, if you play d4, I just take, and white is a pawn up. So you must actually get your knight back and then try for something on this direction.
Somehow though, with the queen on d7, it's so hard to play this move pawn to d4 because it doesn't even threaten anything.
Yeah.
Yes, you gain space in the center, but whenever you take my bishop on e3, your queen on d7 is going to be on pre, and that's why at some point black should also consider moving the queen away. Knight c6 played. In fact, by Vishwanathan
Vishy plays it.
Anand, and he's eyeing this move pawn to d4 as you mentioned.
Yeah. Can we do a very, very quick
Yes.
roundup, Harshit bhai? So on board number 1, it's looking good for the Alpine SG Pipers with Fabi being slightly better. On board 2, let's go to Anish Giri versus Vincent Keimer. It's looking very good for Anish with these 2 rockets lined up here. The knight entering, the queen about to enter here.
Man, I don't know how Black is going to stop this attack.
Man, h6 can come, but then the knight maneuvers itself
played.
to e4 to d6. So again, on board 2, Alpine SG Pipers. Looking good, yes?
Looking good. Can we actually just go a bit, like just to show one idea, knight e4.
Yes.
If you take my bishop on e3, fe3 and bishop b7, white to play. A huge move.
A huge move here, guys. Anyone wants to try here, white to play. There are many ways to get an advantage, but for a chocolate here, anyone. Let's go. Yes. Queen g4. Not a bad move. He's playing the simul. He's answering here. Man, that's actually crazy. Multitasking. Yes, you want a move? Knight f6.
check.
Well done. Daniel Dubo has some tough opponents to play against.
I'm sure he's not going to allow any sorts of knight f6 check in his games, but yes, knight f6, queen g4, rook f6, and it's over. Gotovo. Finito la comedy.
This is too strong. So by the way, h6, knight e4, he
Chop,
takes
chop.
the
Ooh.
pawn, and
It had an opportunity.
by knight f6 could come in here. No, I doubt if Anish will play this. This is too sharp.
He does not.
This is
He
too sharp.
captures back
He
the
just
pawn on
takes
d4.
back. But
And
this is very good.
It's very good. So we are saying on board 2, Anish having an advantage.
Yes.
Fabi having a small advantage. So currently, it seems like Alpine has a big advantage. What about
Alpine
Pragg's game?
SG Pipers better on board 1 and 2. Now let's go to Pragg versus Javokir Sindaro on board 3. And in this one, it seems like the position has equalized somehow with this d5 move. But Pragg has pinned it here.
Can Black take the pawn on e4? Is it just
Oh, that would
petering
be
out?
a huge blunder. Takes here. If you take, the queen is hanging, and if rook takes,
Chop, chop, chop. Queen takes e4. Time to munch because the queen on d8 is hanging. So can we say that Pragg is better, or do you think it's just equal?
I think an important moment here for Javokir Sindarov. If he makes couple of good moves, he will get the draw. So equality on board 3. Now let's go to board number 4. Ho Yifan versus Polina Shuvalova. It looks like the white rook is well placed on c5, putting pressure here, putting pressure here. I
Look at the
want to
clock.
say that Ho Yifan is better here, but the engine is like, no Sagar, it's just equal.
I actually agree with you. I do think that white has some sort of an advantage putting pressure on this pawn on c7, but Polino Shuvalova, who's been playing fast, should be able to hold this. Like,
I know how to do it.
How?
You go f6, you save your strong pawn, you give your weak pawn, then you bring your rook, and once this traded, attack the weakness.
this is a very good idea. You give up a pawn, but now it's very hard for white to defend both these pawns. Also, in this live position, cannot Black just chop this pawn on a4?
What?
Is this possible?
Oh,
Because
bhai.
you cannot take my knight on a4.
Harshit
You're back,
bhai,
man.
always tricky. You are so
Tricky.
tricky. By the way, guys, one of the tests that we were doing today was we had a mate in one sheet which had to be solved by strong players. There were around 15 positions, and Harshit bhai did it in 1 minute 10 seconds. And I gave it to some other people. They could do it in 2 minutes. That's why you are the tricky guy, yeah? So tricky.
It was mate in one, bhai.
By Firbi, you are very quick. And meanwhile, Anish Giri has a
what?
Oh, he
Knight
goes
F6.
knight f6.
What is this?
Anish Giri with a double exclamation move.
If you take my knight, what's the point?
Okay, 1 second.
Bhai, we screamed, but how
First
you
I'm
win?
super excited that Anish has managed to launch such a huge attack. But
Oh, I
on the
see it.
other hand, what do you think about taking on f5
Chop off a defender.
and now queen h4,
Exactly.
pinning, attacking here, e takes f6, queen takes h6, boom, 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 game over.
And all of these pieces, you have extra piece, but what can you do with it? Queen takes h6, ef6 is just finito. And Anish Giri, showing that I'm not just good at positional play. If you give me the chance, if you put me through the test, I am going to find the tactical idea. Knight f6, fantastic move by him.
And Harshit bhai, yesterday both Alpine SG Pipers and the Ganges Grandmasters had tough games, so it was an important one here. But Anish leading from the front for his team, the Alpine SG Pipers, as so.
Yes, and now let's quickly go
We should stay here perhaps or not?
Oh yeah, this
because
game is
I'm
very
like,
interesting. Yeah, knight
maybe
f6.
Vincent is in big trouble. If we can
shook.
zoom in on this board and we can zoom in on the players to just show the emotions here, it does feel like Vincent feels the pressure right now. Yesterday, Vincent was winning against Wesley, so he couldn't finish it. Today, I don't think that Anish is going to miss this chance.
Yesterday, Vincent sacrificed his knight. This time, he's facing a knight sacrifice, but it's a poisoned sacrifice. You cannot really capture. Hey, let me ask you this question, Sagar Bhai. If I don't take the knight on f6, what's
Yeah.
White's idea?
I mean, in general, the knight on f6 is such an unwelcomed guest, Harshit Bhai. I can just go queen to h5 next, and then boom, some bishop f5 and bishop h6 will come in.
So your idea is queen h5 and chop the pawn on
Wait ही
h6.
करना है भाई. I was just no waiting here.
And if you ever take the bishop on e3, let's not forget that after fe3, the rook opens up. But not only that, there is a sneaky threat. Queen to e4 threatens checkmate on h7 and the rook on a8. And this is going to be an idea for Vincent to watch out for. He's stunned. He's absolutely stunned by Anish's last move, knight to f6. It's like a cold shower.
Yeah,
Rook
by the
d8.
way, rook d8 played by Vincent Keimer. He's trying to get things moving here, but queen h5. The knight is like, black king, you can't go anywhere. I'm just taking away all your escape routes.
Anish.
And so, okay, we saw that Fabi is better, Anish is better, Pragg is equal, Ho Yifan looks equal. Let's go to the fifth board. Nino Batsiashvili versus Stavrula Solakidu. White is a pawn up right now. Nino Batsiashvili just right now finishing off this analysis. This looks equal. And on the last board, Leon Mendonça versus Raunak Sadhwani. I feel Raunak today has to strike for his team. Otherwise, the Ganges Grandmasters are in big trouble.
And what character would Ronak show after losing and blundering yesterday and then coming back today with such brute energy saying that, you know, I take full responsibility of the blunder today. I'm going to show why I am playing in this team for the Ganges Grandmasters. And here, knight to g5, the rook on f8, eyes that pawn on f4 and the queen on f2. Does look a bit scary कि white के पास queen h4 का idea है, but we can just go h6.
Yeah, I think I like this position right now for Raunak. So this is one big hope for the Ganges Grandmasters. But let's quickly go to board 2.
Anish
We
is
want
good.
to see if Anish Giri made all the right moves or not. Oh, he did it. He took on f5, he took here, and queen h4. Arshid Bhai is going for bishop takes h6 now.
And you know, the ability to give up his asset for the knight on f5 and realizing that now it's not about this bishop on d3, but the bishop on e3. This is why we call Anish Giri as one of the best players in terms of what pieces to exchange and what pieces to keep on the board. He takes the knight, and now bishop takes h6 is
I won't be surprised
unavoidable.
if Vincent might resign here, right?
Can we actually go full screen on the
is there-
players?
Look at this. G takes, queen h6, king g8. I take the pawn, queen f8. Now stopping the mate.
Okay.
How do you finish it off?
Yes, I give a check on g5 to start with.
Queen g5,
You
king
move the
h8.
king. I need one more piece in the action.
Check.
Check.
King here.
And bishop h6.
And bishop h6.
Queen moves. Can we finish this off? What a variation. If the queen moves, queen g5 check and checkmate on
What
g7.
an attack.
Here we have the full screen view, and Anish Giri feeling very confident here after playing the move queen to h4, and just by the expressions of Vincent, he knows that there is no defense. Defenseless against this
it was
attack. He
queen
made a
f8.
move. Rook f8 back.
No, queen f8.
Queen
Harshit
f8.
Bhai. Queen actually defends this. And now, guys, if you are attacking here, what would you do? What is the move that comes to your mind? Because sometimes, in order to finish off these top players, you can't really go with brute force sacrifices. If you do that, it's not enough.
Look
You
at it.
have to find a way, calm way to break through. क्या खेलेंगे भाई इधर?
And what Vincent? Very surprised. He was taking a look at the other games. He kya ho raha hai on the other boards. Not happy with this current position. Anish needs to bring more cavalry into the attack. And one idea is to just bring the rook from a1 to c1.
That's
one more piece in the game.
Such a cool move. That's such a nice move, rook a c1. The other idea is to push the pawn to d5, d6, and you just make that into a queen. Just push the pawn forward. So that's looking good. Let's go to the icon board.
Let's go.
Fabi versus Vishy Anand, and look at what's happened here in the last few moves. We saw like the bishop coming in, d takes c3 is on the board. Vishy is hanging on in there. He's tough to beat, of course. But right now, Fabi's position looks very strong.
But he has a big decision to make. How do you recapture back on c3? For me,
Pawn
b takes c3 looks, as you were saying, b takes c3 comes so
Pawn
naturally.
से मार के ये square को control करते हैं यार.
Fabi सोच रहा है. Maybe he thinks कि इसके बाद b4 आ सकता है and black can challenge that pawn on c3. इसलिए Fabi has not made the move yet. He's actually going down on the clock. Less than 4 minutes. Vishy has kept his time advantage, which makes me think that he still can bring Ganges potentially the 4 points. Yesterday, Vishy on the icon board and Ronak on the prodigy board both lost.
But now, do you see the time difference that has happened, Harshit bhai? It's Fabiano who's down to 4 minutes 20 seconds and Vishy has 6 minutes. So Vishy actually moved up on the clock and his position still is a bit worrying though.
But look at the move pawn to h4, threatening pawn to h5, forcing that bishop on g6 to make a decision. Do you want to go passive with h6, bishop h7? I doubt so. You probably have to give up your bishop on f5, but then the g pawn captures back on f5, unleashing an attack on the king side. And this is a tough moment for Vishy, a critical moment.
And then knight to c5, and maybe now these two pawns are super dangerous. I can push my pawn forward.
What's the idea if I take?
And if you take here, I take back. And now this is hanging on h7, sorry. So knight e4 and queen e4. And Harshit bhai, this pawn is worth its weight in gold.
Absolutely. No, this looks fantastic for white. And that's why the move pawn to h4 is given an exclamation mark. It goes h5.
And
Mistake.
a mistake here
Vishy's
by
back.
Fabi. Vishy is back in the game. Whoa.
Back and kicking. Bishop takes h5 and suddenly the Indians love this for black as the bishop on h5. We were talking about this is a bad piece on g6 and Fabi should have blocked this piece somehow, but he goes takes and the bishop has found new life on this diagonal.
Oh.
Not that diagonal, this one, bhai.
This diagonal is looking good. And Fabi now, I think he made a couple of moves there. And so while Vishy is back, looking good for the Ganges Grandmasters. Ho Yifan on board number 4. We did call this out. Her position did look slightly preferable. And she is pushing against Polina Shuvalova. But I'm a bit worried about this white king. Meanwhile, did Vishy blunder?
What?
Can we go to the icon board?
What?
Huge action here, guys.
What's happening?
Look
Can we
at
go
what
back?
happened. So,
What is happening?
no, let's take it step by step.
Bishop h5,
Bishop takes h5,
knight
it was
d6.
equal. He went knight d6. Now queen d7 was important.
Only
Vishy
move.
found it. No, he
No, he
played
did
queen
not.
c7. A big error. Because check, king here. And Harshit bhai, why was the
I'll
queen
tell you
more
exactly.
important on d7 than on c7?
Because once the bishop captures the knight on d6, after e takes d6, it hits the queen on c7. And now after queen f5, the best move that Fabi played, you have no time to capture. Because once I capture, ye bishop mar raha hai, queen is hanging. This is lights out. The
No,
game is
but-
over.
Oh my god, that's a huge mistake, guys. Look at this. If here, check, king here, queen f5, at this moment, g6 could have been played here. At this moment, this was a fine move. But because the queen is on c7 here,
The knight on e6 is unprotected. So after king h8, queen f5, g6, knight f7, and the knight on e6 is going to be undefended.
falling. That's the big
Man.
point here.
And
And,
can we-
that's actually something that you can miss. Vishy missed it. And now queen f5 is on the board. And I think, guys, this is over because the bishop is hanging. It has nowhere to go. The moment it moves here, anyone here can answer white to play and win.
Easy peasy.
What do you do?
Come on. Knight takes f7. Exactly.
Well done. It's a check and a mate almost. You have to give up your queen.
But
So a
that's-
big moment for Alpine SG Pipers as Fabiano winning. Anish Giri on board 2. Completely crushing by Anish Giri ने d5 भी कर दिया, रुक भी ला लिया, सब कुछ कर दिया यहाँ पर.
No, the pieces are flying towards the king side right now. Our paper is flying rook to d4, swinging it over to h4, and that's why Vincent is wanting to trade it. Rook to c4. It looks like a logical move. The Indians don't like it, but I can completely understand the practical sentiment with which Vincent made this move.
Yeah, take here, and maybe now It's not so easy to find the finishing move. I must tell you guys, while Anish is totally winning, this game could swing in any direction if Anish's time goes low.
Result.
Oh,
Actually,
Vishy resigns.
Vishy resigns, and they're discussing the game afterwards. Fabiano Caruana brings the Alpine SG Pipers 3 points. It was just a matter of 10 seconds where the entire game shifted. Vishy resigned, and Vishy is just trying to understand where he went wrong. He had one moment, but it was not easy actually to understand the difference between Queen D7 and C7, which would have kept Vishy in the game. And Fabi.
Tough loss for the legend there, which means that the Alpine SG Pipers are now 3-0 up. Let's quickly head to the game of Anish Giri, guys. He has only 54 seconds to make this work. Can we get the board here?
And he makes a mistake. Vincent is getting some chances to
back.
hold.
He takes the knight, and now Anish has to prove he's a piece down. Harshit bhai, these are tough moments because while objectively your position is good, you need to do it all in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Not easy.
Exactly, because if Anish does not win this game and Ronak wins on the Prodigy board, Ganges Grandmasters, even though they lost on the Icon board, will have chances to win this match. Anish should not repeat. He needs to keep playing even though he has a minute on the clock.
But I think it's like, oh, he goes E6. He plays, he's going for the win. He's going here for the win. Anish Giri really today in a mood for, and by the way, we have Anish and Vincent here. Although for a brief moment I did see Leon and Raunak. That game is equal. Guys, all other games are equal. And so if you think about it, Ganges Grandmasters are like, where are we going to strike? Maybe Vincent.
I think I have a feeling that Ronak is also going to be someone who's trying to bring the Ganges Grandmaster 4 points. Can I also remind everyone that if you win with black, you get 4 points. So there cannot be a tie. Someone will win unless there are all draws.
True.
Oh, by the way, some moves on Hoyifan's game. Can we quickly go there?
Yeah, Hoyifan versus Polina Shuvalova. And Hoyifan, who was actually better, now has a knight and a rook against 2 rooks. But the problem here is that somehow this is not a mating net. And she attacks here. Bhai, do you think that white is practically better here or
I completely think that white is practically better because she has 4 pawns. F6 is an idea. King F2, G4, and you can just cement your pawn structures there. By the way, Nino completely
by the way,
winning.
Nino Batsiashvili is winning against Tavrula Solakidu.
What happened?
That's a big one for the Ganges Grandmasters because white... No, actually, 1 second. Nino, Alpine SG Pipers. Nino is from the Alpine and Alpine could score another win.
Exactly. Alpine Pipers can extend their lead if Nino wins this match. On the live board.
And we have a draw in Anish Giri's game.
Anish drew?
Whoa! Vincent Keimer got his half point back that he lost yesterday. So the score right now, 4-1 in the favor of the Alpine.
SG Pipers and Ronak's game.
Something has happened and
Let's
here
go.
we saw Polina Shuvalova won. Polina Shuvalova has won. How did that happen? Did Hoyifan lose on time?
She might have lost on time because she gets 4
Raunak
points and Ronak
won. What the hell?
All of a
sudden.
8 points in the last 10 seconds for Raunak Sadhwani and Polina Shuvalova. Pragg versus Sindarov. Let's quickly go here and then we'll update you about the scores.
Yeah, it's 9-4 in the favor of Ganges Grandmasters. Can you believe it, guys? 4 points each for victories.
And Javo Kir is winning with black.
Javo.
Kya ho raha hai?
Javo Kir is going to beat Pragnananda today.
Man, even though they lost the first game with Anand losing on the icon board, the other players, Javokir Sindarov, Pragnananda and Polina Shuvalova rising to the occasion.
Oh man, Ganges Grandmasters were like, Ruko zara, hum aa rahe.
Bhai, excitement dekho Sindarov ka. Let's look at this game.
Yeah,
look at the excitement.
It's totally winning here. By the way, we are not getting the moves on the digital board. But
and resignation
victory for Javokir Sindarov. Alpine SG Pipers who are looking so strong at the start.
And Nino won. So Nino won and Fabi won.
Yes. But then their 3 players lost. So the Ganges Grandmasters have managed to score a 13-7 victory over the Alpine SG Pipers, guys. What a big win here for the Ganges team. Meanwhile, Nino and Fabi are thinking like, yeah, we did our job. We scored the 2 wins. But guys, this is a team event. It doesn't work this way. Your team has to play well. And today, Ganges really did well. And I want to see Vishy Anand's expression here. By the way, Anish there discussing with this. And Vishy, look at his face. He's like, yes, even though I lost today, my team has won. And he is happy.
And look at Ronak there, losing yesterday, bobbing his head with excitement and confidence as he came back with a bang as he defeated Leon Mendonça on the Prodigy board. For me, I think he definitely, after having this nightmare of a loss yesterday, should get the man of the match.
Yeah, I think so. Raunak Sadhwani is definitely the guy today. He played an excellent game to beat another Indian prodigy, Leon Mendonça. What a day this is turning out to be. Harshit bhai, I really could not have guessed. Nearly 3/4 of the match was done, and I thought Alpine SG Pipers are taking this home, but not really. The Ganges Grandmasters came back in beautiful style, guys. And this is the beauty of this format. The time control, the point system, everything is just geared towards making this sport as exciting as possible.
Yeah, and here you can see all the players. Anish there, not happy that he drew the game. Fabi won his individual game, but his team lost. So I'm sure he's not very happy. And here we can see the announcement inside the playing hall. I love this concept.
And finally, 3-0 match points win Ganges Grandmasters. And the game points is 7-13. Again, win the Ganges Grandmasters. Congratulations. Two teams. Okay, please shake a hand.
Yes. What?
Yeah, and by the way, guys, you can see here the players shaking hands with each other. Vishy has that smile on his face as he meets Praveen Tipse, India's first and third Grandmasters.
What a nice moment there. Handshakes all around, even though, it did not go for it in the favor of Alpine SG Warriors. It was nice to see the sportsmanship moment between all the players of handshakes.
And by the way, guys, Sindarov right now scoring this win against Pragg. I think that was a big one for the Ganges Grandmasters, and Anish Giri not being able to convert his better position did hurt the Alpine SG Pipers. Some point this could have been a great match for the Alpine team, but it wasn't to be. And now you can see the team coming out. Fabi played a beautiful game today, but the Ganges Grandmasters were incredible as a team. As a team, they did amazingly well. And Nino Batsiashvili, she also scored her game.
She is someone who won both of her games. She won yesterday against Kostyniuk, and today against Stavrula. She's turning out to be the MVP for the team of Alpine SG Pipers, but it was not enough today. Here you can see Vincent and Anish still analyzing their game as Anish is contemplating how could I have won.
And by the way, Ho Yifan and Polina Shuvalova discussing their game. It was a very tough loss for Ho Yifan because she was doing quite well in that game, but the Black Rooks infiltrated and checkmated there. Woo. Big turnarounds that we saw, Harshit bhai, and this is a huge moment in this tournament because every game is building up this tournament so beautifully. The Ganges scored their first win today, and there's the scorecard. We have Fabi winning against Vishy.
But that was Fabi and Nino winning with the white pieces, but it was Javokir Sindarov with the black pieces winning against Pragnananda. Polina Shuvalova beating Hawifan. Polina Shuvalova also winning both of her games, and also then the man of the match for this match, Raunak Sadhwani, defeating Leon Mendonça with black, and what a performance by him.
Right, and Raunak Sadhwani, guys, the MVP, guys. What a guy he is. Yesterday blundering a piece, today winning his game, and 13-7 victory as we go into a break. And on the other side, guys, we will have the presentation ceremony.
Yep.
And the Ganges Grandmasters take the victory against the Alpine SG Pipers 13-7 with victories on 3 boards. And now it's time to celebrate the player of the match. Arohi, take it away.
It's never too late for a win, especially one in a dominating fashion. Hello and welcome to the post-match presentation ceremony of match number 5, played between the Navita Solar Ganges Grandmasters and Alpine SG Pipers this evening in Mumbai. To present the award, joining us today is Mr. Shudip Toshom, Mahindra and Mahindra. And the player of the match award goes to Ronak Sadhwani from Navita Solar Ganges Grandmasters. Ronak, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Lost yesterday's game. How does the comeback feel? Is it sweeter?
Yeah, definitely, but I told someone yesterday that I'm going to win the game today, so I was quite confident before the game.
What do you think worked for you today?
I played a bit faster and I was putting pressure on the board and on the clock, so I was always in control.
Is this going to be the strategy for the rest of the season?
It's always the strategy, it always works.
All right, this win is definitely going to give you a push. However, you had some other wins in the team as well. But even after that, you were on the Prodigy board, won the player of the match. How does that feel? Is it a motivation? Is it a booster for you?
Yeah, I'm very happy the team won because that's all what matters in the end. So,
all the best for all your upcoming games and congratulations.
thank you.
That is it from the presentation ceremony. We'll be back with another cracker. Stay tuned.
Congratulations to Ronak Sadhwani. Congratulations to the Ganges Grandmasters as they get up on the leaderboard. And guess what? That someone who Ronak mentioned is right here with me on the panel. Grandmaster Sahaj Grover. Sahaj, you had that conversation with Ronak. What happened there?
So after his match, I was genuinely concerned and I called him a bunch of times and he didn't answer his call. And then at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or something, I get a phone call and saying, okay, I was sleeping and I'm up now. Let's talk. And just, long story short, we had a conversation and he said, I'm feeling much better now and whoever I'm going to play, I'm going to beat them. I said, it doesn't matter the color, it doesn't matter who I'm playing. And that's the confidence that, you need to take your opponent
down. He was
down.
a man on a mission on this game as he played with the black pieces, but he was going for a win from the get-go. He played this hippopotamus setup with 2 bishops on G7 and B7, fianchetted them, waited for an opportunity to get the breakthrough in the center, and breakthrough he did get, and he did not let go after that. Very nice victory by Ronak Sadhwani.
And a much needed one when you have a one-move blunder the day before. A much needed one for the confidence of the Ganges Grandmasters. Let's bring up our points table as we go into the action that happened in the head-to-head matchups right there. We saw Fabiano Caruana on the icon board there, taking down Vishy. Another matchup, we saw the exact same story with Hikaru winning against Maxime Vachier-Lagrave in match 1, and it wasn't enough. A replay of that. But what really stands out to me in this match is that for the majority of the play, it felt like this was going to be Alpine SG Pipers match, Fabi getting the win. Nino Batsiashvili getting her 2nd win in the row, racking up those 6 points. But then suddenly, everything collapsed. Board by board, they lost with the white pieces.
And Anish Giri drew his game against Vincent, but I think it was a turning point of the game. Because Vincent Keimer was on the back foot from the get-go. Anish had good center. He was attacking. He was almost winning at some point. And as soon as that game was saved by Vincent, I think Paulina Shuvalova faced an amazing moment as how he blundered mate in 2, giving the Ganges Grandmaster 4 points. And I think that turning point in this match was Anish Giri not able to convert his win against Vincent.
This was the icon board as we have it. This was the one that got the scoring going. And what a win it was by Fabiano Caruana, delivering a checkmate at the end of that for Vishy. That would be a 2nd loss in a row. But the good news for Ganges Grandmaster was that picture abhi baki thi. And they went on to turn around the match, Sahaj.
Absolutely, and Fabi also, after losing to Firuja in the first round itself, what a comeback it was to defeat The goat of Indian chess, Vishy sir.
Yeah, he placed his pawn on h4 and h5, knight to d6, and here Vishy resigned. It must be a great feeling for Vishy though, that even though he did not do well, his team, helped him. He's like, sir, it did not work your way in this game, but we are here as a whole team, and Ganges Grandmaster was able to pull off a very nice win, even though they faced a loss on their icon board.
And now we were here on the pre-show for this match talking about some of the key matchups, and I know we were all very excited about Javakir Sindarov taking on Pragg, and that did prove to be a big board for the Ganges Grandmasters.
And how he played is so fantastic. I mean, his run since the World Cup has been legendary.
And this was the moment it all started, and we see Pragnananda there, he got the king's pawn opening going, and it felt like everything was under control, but Javakir doing Javakir things with the black pieces, and from a slow start managed to get his kind of a position and then never really gave a chance.
I think the Ganges Grandmaster team had a lot of hunger in their minds as Javakir Sindarov lost his game yesterday. Ronak also lost his game yesterday, and Javakir Sindarov took upon his will that he wants to make a comeback, and with the black pieces here, you can see playing with excitement there. Even before Pragg made a move, he was ready with his move there, pressed the clock with just a few seconds on his clock, and there you can see resignation by Pragg, upset by his performance. Javakir winning with black.
What a time scramble that was, and we're running out of time because the teams for the next matchup are ready. It is the PBG Alaskan Knights taking on the Triveni Continental Kings, and we head over to Arohi, who's ready for the toss.
It is time for the coin toss as the defending champions go up against the crowd favorites. We have GM Abhijit Kunte for PBG Alaskan Knights, and we have Luke Vanveli for Triveni Continental Kings here with us. Also joining us for the coin toss, Mr. Vansh Sharma, Project Head, Global Chess League, along with Bharat Singh Chauhan, Tournament Director, and Mr. Ashok, Chief Arbiter. May we have the coin toss? Luke Vanveli will be taking the call.
I'll take heads.
Heads is the call.
Triveni Continental Kings wins the toss, decided to play
Black.
black.
Congratulations on winning the toss.
That's step one. That's step one.
Any particular reason why as to picking black?
Well, yesterday we played with white, and I thought, okay, it's time to play black. Anyway, we have to play them white and black, so.
All right. If you pick black, you win black, you get 4 points. Did that have any motivation for you to pick black today?
Well, actually, it's more tricky to play with white than with black. So today we play with black. Yeah, if you win one game, it's almost match point. So let's see how this match will go.
All right. All the best for your game today.
Thank you.
Playing white, happy?
Yes, very happy to play the white. Yesterday we played black, so it's good to have alternate colors.
This is a repeat of Season 2 finals, if I'm not wrong. How does that help you?
I think it's an interesting match. The team is very balanced, and we are looking forward for a great match today. And we have some memories from last year, so let's see.
All right, this is the time, this is the moment. I think that comeback is going to happen today if it does.
Yes, I'm confident that the PBG Alaskan Knights will make a good comeback.
All right, all the best for your game today. An exciting match coming up your way. Back to the studio.
Couldn't agree more with you, Arohi, right there for the PBG Alaskan Knights. I think memories that they perhaps want to forget or change the narrative on that. The epic final from Season 2 of London between Triveni Continental Kings and the PBG Alaskan Knights. It was the Continental Kings who did come out with the victory. That has to be extra motivation for the Knights to this time change it around.
Oh, absolutely. Gukesh is going to be playing with the white pieces against Ali Reza Firuza. That's going to be the matchup on the icon board. And this means Arjun Erigaisi will play with the black pieces. I actually like this pairing.
Arjun with Wei Yi.
Ooh, yeah.
Let's not forget the World Cup quarterfinals.
Oof, that is going to be awesome to watch. But before we deep dive into the action, another thing that we had Grandmaster Vanveli there mention after winning the toss and picking the black pieces for the Triveni Continental Kings, that Sahet, it's trickier to play with the white pieces in this format. That's not something the chess world is used to. What do you make of that?
I think teams are choosing black because later on, because right now they're not sure what they're going to be. Players cannot really prepare. I think that's the reason that they're happy choosing black, because if someone happens to win with the black pieces, they just get an extra point, and that's it.
And that exactly is it. The fact that a win with black means 4 points. How much risk are you willing to take with the white pieces to try to go for that win? Because risk is a double-edged sword. Well, it's going to be a risky fight in the upcoming match, and we'll deep dive into all of that action on the other side of this break. You stay tuned with us. And what an action-packed day it's already been here at the Royal Opera House. We started with the Upgrad Mumbai Masters taking down the Fire's American Gambit 9-7. A brilliant performance there. And it was the same story with the Ganges Grandmasters 13-7 victory against the Alpine SG Pipers. Let's bring on our leaderboard, the standings, as we go into the final match of the day. And right at the top, we see with the very important match points here on the rightmost side of the screen. 6 points to the Upgrad Mumbai Masters with 2 match victories there. Then we've got the Ganges Grandmasters, the Fire's American Gambits, and the defending champion Triveni Continental Kings with 3 apiece. And for Alpine SG Pipers, PBG Alaskan Knights yet to get on the leaderboard. But it's important to say, Harshit, that there's one more match still remaining, so we can see a big switch up here.
Oh, it's a very important match between Triveni Continental Kings because they are the only team which can catch Upgrad Mumbai Masters in match points. The only team who has won their first game and is still going to play, which means if Triveni does not win, Upgrad Mumbai Masters is going to have a 3-point match lead in the tournament standings.
As I would put them in pole position going into day 3. The Upgrad Mumbai Masters, who dominated day 1, won their match in day 2. But of course, the big question will be, how will the defending champions fare against the runners-up of Season 2 in London? What a big fight that was. What do you think it's going to take for the PBG Alaskan Knights now to overcome Triveni Continental Kings?
Well, I feel it's just today is the day of the team that chooses black. So Triveni has chosen the black color, and I feel they're just the better team on paper.
And I think the duo, the duo of Gukesh and Arjun somehow needs to do well on the top 2 boards in order to give the team of PBG Alaskan Knights some chances. It's a very close encounter between these 2 teams. All the teams are completely stacked up. For many, Triveni Continental Kings is a slight favorite, having 2 Chinese players, Wei and G Zinner, in their team. And I think it's close, but in my opinion, the top 2 boards need to step up their game.
Oof, that's going to be a big one. Let's bring up our matchups, the head-to-heads that we've got, the action coming up for the final match of the day here at the Royal Opera House. And there we have it. It will be world champion Gukesh Domaraju taking on the ferocious Firuza on that board, one of the icons. We've got a clash that just happened a month ago in Goa, and what an epic match that was in the quarterfinals. Arjun Aragaisi against Vei. Arjun perhaps looking at a bit of a revenge as he plays for his team today. Lenya Dominguez plays Vidit Gujarati. We've got the superstar women board with Sara against Alexandra Kostanuik. Katerina Lagno will take on Zujina, and then the Prodigy board. And I want to start right here, and I'll start with you, Harshit. The first 2 matches of the day saw how important the Prodigy board was. Daneshwar getting the win for the Mumbai Masters. Ronak Sadhwani being the MVP for the Ganges Grand Masters. What do you think will be the storyline here?
Oh, and this game between Daniel Darda and Mark Andrea Morizzi, they're very good friends. I've seen them playing Blitz in the lobby yesterday night. Today they face off each other. Mark is a World Junior Champion in 2023. He's the current French champion, and I have a feeling that Mark Andrea Morizzi will be a small favorite in this match.
I think I will second that opinion. Mark Andrea Maurizzi, I think, should be a slight favorite for me, even though he's playing with the black pieces. And it's strange, yeah, Firuza is in the team, and yet Maurizzi is the current French champion.
That probably can't bode too well for the PBG Alaskan Knights, because, well, if the storyline of the day has been the team that has won on the Prodigy board has in fact gone on to win the match. So make a case for the PBG Alaskan Knights. Let's see if you can do that on the next board. It's Sara Kadim against Alexandra Kostanuik.
I feel Sara has not been in the best form going into round 2, and Kostanuik, well, she's the chess queen for a reason. So I'm going to go with Kostanuik with the black pieces.
All right, and I think, is it fair to say that even if one, I'm actually going to ask you guys, I'm going to put it this way. Harshit, let's say that you are in the corner of PBG Alaskan Knights right now. You've got your 6 players here. Where are you looking at striking?
I'm actually not telling my players a specific board to strike on. I'm actually telling them to be versatile. Just play what you're best at. Because sometimes when you put too much pressure on one player to strike, it kind of makes them take unnecessary risks, which can kind of affect the whole team performance. So I would actually tell them to be versatile. Wait for your chances because you'll get them.
That's very interesting, because with my experience in team championships, very often we are told by our captains or our coaches that, on this board you try to hold off a certain player, and this is where we think you're a favorite. So we want you to push. Can you see the storyline like that for the Triveni Continental Kings? Make a case for them, Sahaj.
Actually, I can make a case for the Alaskan Knights in this regard, because I kind of think about that moment where you look at Arjun and you just say, smash. That's it. Because he is looking for that revenge against Wei, and he's playing with the white pieces. I have to say that that's the board that they have to strike. Come on, he's madman for a reason.
He's madman for a reason, but Wei, ice cold. He never shows any expressions on the board. He never gives an advantage to his opponent. Ever very, very solid. I think it's going to be tough for the madman to break through Wei's wall of defense in this match.
Oof, very, very difficult, but I would still have to give. But if we have to look at the top 6 boards, I mean, where else are you looking to strike here? Right? Gukesh versus Firuza, very, very important matchup, but Firuza is... Okay, when it comes to faster time controls, that's his format.
Yeah, for sure. Before we go to Gukesh and Firuza's game, Tanya, yes.
No, please finish your point.
No, I was actually talking about on the 3rd board. We have another big match between the 2nd superstars, between Lenya Dominguez and Vidit Gujarati, and we are going to be looking at the head-to-head to understand a bit more about this matchup.
Wow, it's going to be quite the spectacular matchup coming up as we've seen the stack lineup. And we've got a very special interview for you guys with a very special guest.
Joining us tonight is Mr. Gaurav Rakshit, the Commissioner, Tech Mahindra Global Chess League. Welcome. The league has come home for the first time to Mumbai. How does that make you feel?
Well, as a Mumbaiker, it's especially fulfilling. We were really excited to bring the league to India, and many cities were an option. I think Mumbai has a really deep set of chess enthusiasts that don't really get the opportunity to see some of the best talent. And so we decided to bring the event here, and it's worked out really great. I think there haven't been events of this scale, this nature in India, and in Mumbai in particular. So it was a chance. Seems to have worked out so far.
Best decision ever, because we saw yesterday the crowds had flocked in to see their favorite players, to see how the league is. But tell me, what makes this league different? What makes it special? These players play leagues in all over the country, all over the world rather. What makes this one different?
There's many things that make GCL special. The one I like is to have men, women, prodigies, all playing as part of the same team. That's not something you see, not just in chess, not in any sport. And it really changes the dynamic of a team. There's mentoring, there's, sort of helping each other, there's camaraderie. It's a really nice vibe. And I think some of that spills over onto our fans and audiences as well. They see this chemistry between the teams. And it is really quite magical. You're right, yesterday was amazing. It was a fully packed house, and we want more of those.
You know what is my favorite part of this entire league? It is the 4-point that a team would get if they won with the black pieces. I mean, how great is that rule?
Yeah, I think the nice thing is the rules of chess don't change, but it changes your motivations a little bit. And I think that's especially a small ingredient that becomes extremely powerful. You noticed people choosing to play with black, some people reserving their black for later. It's a strategic decision that has different manifestations depending on where you are in the points table, and it also has a different instruction for every player on the team. So it gives you something to think about, which you normally wouldn't need to think about, and it doesn't tinker with the game too much, but it makes it a lot more fun for the audiences.
And we've seen, surprisingly at the tosses, there are teams who've picked black over white, and that shows how much that one extra point matters. Let me put you on the spot, white or black?
I'd go with black as well. It's interesting to play more active positions with black, which is typically not the case, but there's a lot more to play for. And I think that, normally you would sort of be conservative and build. This changes that.
Thank you so much for bringing this league to Mumbai. Even I'm a Mumbaiker, and I know how much it means to all the players and chess fans in here. Thank you so much. Back to the studio.
Well, I couldn't agree more with everything that Mr. Rakshit just said. Just the environment, the mahal of Mumbai, the josh and the jazba of the fans coming here to watch the best players in the world. 14 out of the top 15 chess players of the world are right here at the Royal Opera House for Season 3 of the Global Chess League. And what a journey it's been for the league.
Yeah, absolutely. We started in Dubai for our first season. Then we went to London. Now coming back in our own country, India, to have all of these top players playing. And I really liked the point that he made, that a small ingredient was changed, but that changed the complete recipe. And here, this ingredient of, bringing all the teams together, because chess is considered to be an individual sport, but to have all the team members play together and to rely on each other and to look at those games, I think this is what makes the Global Chess League so special.
Absolutely a game changer. The mixed team format of this. You've got two women stars. You've got a prodigy board as well, and we've often seen matches get decided in that, and also the very unique point system that makes it almost impossible to see a match end tied in a score. You know, you're always going to have those decisive results. And I think one team that's looking for a decisive result, it's got to be the PBG Alaskan Knights. You know, they are up against Triveni Continental Kings in the final match of the day right now. And this story goes back. It goes back to the finals in London of Season 2, when it was the Triveni Continental Kings, led by Alireza Firouzja, who took that win. And we've been talking about the boards, which will matter in this one. If it comes down to one of them, where do you think this match will be decided?
If one player, I'm gonna go with Arjun versus Vishy.
That's the board you think the fans should keep an eye on?
For sure, yes. That's the match that I would 100% keep my eye on, because I have no clue what's going to happen there, but it's going to be chaotic.
For me, it's definitely the icon board between Gukesh and Alireza Firouzja, because yes, Gukesh is the current world champion, but Alireza Firouzja has proven better results in rapid formats, and I think this is a great challenge for Gukesh to prove why he's considered to be one of the best players in the world.
And let's also point out that the Triveni Continental Kings will start with the black pieces. They did win the toss, chose black. And I want to focus a little bit on that icon board that you're mentioning, because I see Gukesh as a player, I see Alireza as a player, and it almost feels like a clash of styles to me. You know, Alireza, he loves to hit the chaos button as quickly as possible. He's someone who doesn't shy away from extreme complications. He's also extremely fast. He's a bullet beast on the board. While Gukesh perhaps wants a more controlled approach to his game, time might be a factor right now. What do you think? How do you think these dynamics will play out, given how stylistically different these two players are?
You know, this question reminds me of the time when Magnus was in Tata Steel, and I asked him, who is the second closest player to you in any format? And guess who he named? He said Alireza Firouzja.
I mean, we also saw Magnus saying that if there is one player that he would love to play the World Championship against, it would be the talented prodigy Prince Firouzja, and this is going to be an amazing matchup to follow.
It really will, and though we didn't get that World Championship of Magnus versus Firouzja, well, guess what? We've got a world champion, Gukesh, playing against Firouzja, so we do get this matchup. You know, Firouzja, I think Magnus also did imply, he sort of, while Magnus was the king of chess, Firouzja was called the prince of chess. And right now he's playing the current king of chess, the world champion himself. And I think it will be so much about the position they get out of the opening, whose style that suits more. If Gukesh is able to get his kind of positions, he might be the one putting the pressure.
For sure, and he has the right color for it as well, but it just comes down to, you know, the first 10 moves, the first 15 moves, who is able to create more mess on the board and who is going to be faster.
I was just going to hit on that right now. How important will the clock be on the icon board?
To be honest, Alireza Firouzja, in my eye, is definitely going to be a favorite, as he's one of he's world bullet champion several times. And here you can see the PBG Alaskan Knights walking inside the stadium. The coach Abhijit Kunte, followed by the world champion Gukesh, Lanier, Arjun, and the whole team walking towards the arena. Lahno Katarina, Sara Khadem, and finally the prodigy Daniel Darda.
And Katrina Lagno herself, a multiple-time rapid and blitz world champion. So speaking of the clock, I think she's going to be looking at putting pressure on exactly that on her board, as she'll take on Zhu Jinner in that matchup. I think once again we might see the storyline where the women's board might turn out to be the absolute critical one.
Yeah, I think Zhu Jinner against Katrina Lagno is also going to be another important match. And as we are just going to see all the players from the Triveni Continental Kings walk up inside the playing hall. It's such an exciting moment for all the fans to kind of see all the players walk in. This kind of gives it like a, you know, entertainment vibe, with the players walking in inside the stadium, having an opportunity to take a look at them before they go in the stadium.
And the fans are lined up, waiting for them to walk past them. This is the final match of Day 2 here of the Tech Mahindra Global Chess League. And what an end to Day 2 we've set ourselves up for. The finals clash of Season 2 in London will be played out in just a few moments, as now we see Triveni Continental Kings. They're making their way into the arena. And talk to us a little bit about that. These few seconds leading up to the first move are often the most stressful ones on the team.
Yes, 100% and stressful. But I think because they have Alireza leading the charge, I would feel a bit more confident.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely a lot motivation for the players to follow Firouz Ali Reza, but they need to make sure that they don't get too affected by the tension and the noise, the fans, the spectators, which kind of lead to a lot of pressure. And in order to play your best chess, you have to be calm, you have to be focused. And here you can see Firouz Ali Reza entering the arena, followed by Wei, Vidit Gujarati, Zhu Jinner. And look at the excitement with which the players are entering the arena. You know, in terms of the players walking in, I kind of got the feeling that Triveni Continental Kings players felt a bit more pumped. And look at Mark there, Andrea.
You know what? When you're a two-time champion of the league, it gives you enough reason to be feeling all pumped and excited about that three-peat, a hat-trick, what these guys are looking for. And when you've got Ali Reza Firouzja leading that charge for a second time, Wei also kept in that roster. I mean, the performance that he just had last month in Goa, you know, playing in the finals, finished runners-up, fixed his candidate spots. One has to say that Triveni Continental Kings are feeling good about their chances.
No, absolutely. Okay, let's just quickly do this before the match starts. Between Alaskan Knights and Triveni Continental Kings, whom do you think gets it?
Triveni Continental Kings.
Triveni Continental Kings. I'm going to stick with PVG Alaskan Knights for this one.
I love it when our panel's divided. That just goes on to show how closely contested the battle will be.
We are not letting you go so easily. You have to choose. Hello?
Help us decide.
Hello?
You are the tiebreaker.
These were the top
Someone is
two
looking there, so be
finishers.
very careful.
Wearing a pink jersey right now, well, it's hard to bet against, you know, the defending champions bit here. We've got Gukesh on that top icon board. I would love to see this a fight. I think it's a 50-50 battle. We're in for an absolute thriller. If I have to pick one, you know what? I'm going to go for the PVG Alaskan Knights. Well, we'll see what will happen. And this is the matchup that's coming on. You don't want to miss a single second of the action. On the other side of the break, it's time to get the moves on.
on fire. They only rise higher. Please give it up for the first team, PBG Alaskan Knights. With their coach GM Abhijit Kunte, we have the players. Reigning world champion Gukesh Domaraju, Arjun Erigaisi, Lenier Dominguez, Sara Kadem, 3 times Women's World Blitz champion Katerina Lagno, and Daniel Arda. And now the next team, last year's champions, this year's contenders. Give it up for Triveni Continental Kings. With their coach, Luke Veli, we have the team, Ali Reza Firoja, Wei Yi, Vidit Gujarati, Alexandra Koschenyuk, Zujiner, and Markandria Morezi. To make the first move, may we please call upon Mr. Amajoti Barua, CFO Mahindra Group. All the best to both the teams. You may please take your seats.
And guys, the first move is going to be made here by the CFO of the Mahindra Group, and the players have settled down. And what a clash we have on the top board. Gukesh versus Firuja. Tanya Sachdev is joining me here for the commentary. Tanya, excited for this one?
Super excited. What a center court match this is. It is all eyes on the world champion taking on, well, who's becoming the player to beat. He's already been man of the match. He's been player of the match in their first clash. Ali Reza Firuja. Can Gukesh stop that streak? And meanwhile, we got our first game underway. It's handshakes. We are off, Sagar.
Yes, and we have the game between Sara Khadem and Alexandra Koschenyuk beginning here. And it's a staggered start. So we'll have 2 games starting for now. Tanya, let's get it rolling.
We are already rolling, my friend, right now. Look at the number of moves that has happened from the multiple-time World Rapid and Blitz champion Katerina Lagno here, playing with the white piece for the PBG Alaskan Knights against Zujina. Currently a central pawn, which has been captured by Black, what is known as the open Spanish opening.
And this was the same opening that Vishy Anand played today against Fabiano Caruana. And we'll get the board here, but let's zoom in on the video. It'll take a couple of minutes to get the moves on our screen.
As we get our live board updated, so far it is still in standard traditional theory of this opening. Both players playing super quick, bringing on that speed. Katerina Lagno's last move, bringing that bishop out. And usually, in these kind of battles, play is divided half of the board. White ends up playing on the left flank, while for Zujina, it's going to be play on the other one. Meanwhile, move on to Sara Kadem taking on a former world champion, the chess queen, Alexandra Koschenyuk.
And now we have the board here. Tanya, it's up. And so you can see here that Sara has gone for a very nice setup with no pawns in the center. Black has pawns here, but white tries to strike with c4 and get some things rolling for this bishop on g2.
And while this opening develops, we've got action that's getting started on Lenier Dominguez taking on Vidit Gujarati on this one. This is board number 3 right now. And there we get a full view access to a beautiful, a stunning Royal Opera House playing arena.
Absolutely. And Vidit versus Lenier. Let's zoom in on that one very quickly to see the opening. We have the Italian there. It's a very stable opening. And Tanya, for me, one of my favorite clashes of today is Arjun Erigaisi versus Wei Yi. This is the World Cup rematch with Arjun and Wei Yi playing against each other. Wei Yi had beaten Arjun. Will Ajjubai get his revenge today?
That's the question on everyone's mind, right? The quarterfinals, the epic clash that really went down to the wire, and that one, Wei Yi coming on top, going on to the semi-finals, knocking out the final Indian hope out of the World Cup. So I think for Arjun as well, Ajju bhai, looking for that revenge right now.
And right now, he has the white pieces and he's played his pawn to a3 way like he always does. Takes a bit more time in the opening, trying to settle himself down. And we are going to keep an eye on this clash for sure. We can go to the icon board now. Gukesh and Firouzja. The moves have not yet come in. They both are ready. They're looking at other games. What's going to be the first move here, Tanya?
I say the king's pawn opening.
King's pawn opening, you think? Yeah, I also feel so. Gukesh loves playing e4, but he could very well do something different as well today.
And look at that, Alireza Firouzja looking quite chill right now. You know, he's like, let's get this party started, let's get this game going. While Gukesh, you know, he's got his leaned in, and there we have the arbiters come in. It is go time.
Four.
And interestingly, it starts with the English opening.
And on the junior board, we have Daniel taking on Marc-Andrea Morizzi. But let's go to the Gukesh one.
Guys, I also want to get our chat involved right now. Who do you think will take this clash? As now all our 6 boards are under play. Do you think it will be Gukesh Domaraju's PBG last night, or will it be Alireza Firouzja's Triveni Continental Kings? Don't forget, this was the clash of the finals in Season 2 in London.
Wow. That's huge. And so at that point, the Triveni Continental Kings did triumph. But right now, Gukesh opens with pawn to c4. We have g6, a hyper-modern system here. And we get the moves symmetrical variation. And while Alireza is trying for b5 here, Tanya, what should be White's approach? Should White stop it? Should White do something else? Not so sure.
And that's exactly the question that's in Gukesh's mind. While it's been a bit of copycat chess with the way the pieces have been placed, Alireza with the first threat, he wants to expand on that left flank. Gukesh says, I literally do not care. He doesn't go on to play a move that actually stops the threat. I think we do have a move on the board. It's Gukesh reach out, and
yes,
there he has it.
D3, Tanya, and b5 is here, and the engine gives that as a question mark. But how do you take advantage of it? Pawn takes pawn, and now actually it's not at all an easy move to find. By the way, Gukesh has captured, and do you think he'll find this move a4, which is actually quite a nice move there?
It will ask huge questions to Black, because as Alireza, you want to push the B pawn forward, but that will give Gukesh a long-term passer, the A pawn becoming super strong. You're also leaving behind a nice juicy post for the white knight to jump into. I think Gukesh finds it. He's going to pose this problem.
Tanya, Gukesh played bishop e3, which was perhaps not the best move, but he is putting pressure on the c5 pawn.
It's full pressure right now, and the question is Firouzja going to go on the counter offense by pushing that B pawn forward, kicking that white knight, or will he take a more cautious defensive approach by pushing his own D pawn to defend? Well, Alireza Firouzja, I would say he goes B4. I think that's more his style of play, Sagar, going for counter offense defense.
I agree. Let's see what he does here, because after b4, he's played it. He's played it, Tanya. Where will the white knight go? To e4, to a4, can put pressure on the c5 pawn, but with d6, you can have it all controlled. My only worry, Tanya, is that this knight on c6 can be a bit loose.
Well, right now it's White's knight that's loose. So firstly, Gukesh has to make a choice between the question you ask, ki bhai ye knight ja kahan raha hai right now? And there we see he's still in thought, not an easy decision to make. You want to plant it to the center of the board, but there it's not stable. It can be kicked out by either of the 2 flank pawns moving forward or the one taking control. Knights on the rim are a bit dim. Do you really want to put it on a4, Sagar?
Right. Let's see where Gukesh goes with his knight. And there we have Daniel Dubov. It's been a marathon simul that he has played. It seems the last board is left there. And we have the youngster Neelkant playing against him. I think Daniel has done such an incredible job today to play against 20 players here, Tanya, in the fan zone. Guys, many people came here to just have a nice time, but will go back with the memory of a lifetime playing against one of the greatest chess players out there, Tanya. amazing.
I love it. I think it's such a celebration of chess, global chess. You know, you got one of the best players on the planet here, Daniel Dubov. He was here in Goa as well. Don't forget, he's the one who knocked out Pragg from the World Cup with a fantastic performance in this one. And here he is.
10 minutes of preparation.
With 10 minutes of preparation, did not open his laptop. I wonder if he's here with his laptop this time.
Tanya, I have a big news coming in. Katrina Lagno already close to winning position against Zhu Jinner. A big moment for the PBG team. Wow, look at this. Bishop on d5, pawn on e6. And white is dominating this position because of this e6 pawn. It's such a strong pawn there, Tanya.
It's a nail in black's position, right? Itna dur chala gaya hai wo pawn. Once you're able to even trade off that e7 bishop, the key defender here, by putting your own bishop on c5, bhai, who's going to stop that pawn? Which is why Zhu Jinner has to go on the attack. She hits that white bishop. Lagno will simply retreat with it. She grabs the pawn and bishop c5. Still a big threat. And the problem is you can't grab the e6 pawn, Sagar. Tactics everywhere.
Let's ask our viewers here. If you take here, what do you do? What's the simple move you can play here for white to win the game? Anyone? Do you want to try?
White to play, guys. How do you win this on the spot? LPDO. Lose pieces, drop off.
Yes. And you can see here, there's a rook standing. Just move the bishop, Tanya. I mean, you play the bishop here, anywhere, you lose a piece.
Yes, there's too much of a traffic jam there. Here in Mumbai, that's pretty common, but here you're not going to survive it. Bishop comes back, hits the rook, the whole house falls.
So right now, tough moments for the Triveni Continental Kings here, Tanya. They have been so good in this tournament, right? Like first two editions they won yesterday. They were flawless. They played incredible chess. But now, the PBG Alaskan Knights have found a chink in their armor right now. They can get the lead if Katrina Lagno converts.
And in our pre-show with Harshit and Sahaj, we were talking about it, that this is one of the boards where truly PBG Alaskan Knights must strike. You know, you've got Katrina Lagno, one of the absolute best female players in her experience, her power when it comes to speed chess with her wins in the World Rapid and Blitz Championship. I think this is a board they must get those 3 points in.
I agree because Alexandra Koschenyuk on the adjoining board is starting to put pressure with the black pieces against Sara Khadem. So black is slightly better here. Looks quite even, but look at this pawn rushing down. The bishop is here.
It's starting to look quite tricky for white with that d-pawn gaining space, looking like a big strength rather than a weakness here. But Sagar, I see our evaluation bars. I think there's massive action on the board that everybody wants to get to right now. Gukesh Domaraju versus Alireza Firouzja. And look at that. What a moment to jump into as the red mark appears. That is a blunder on the board.
The icon board. Guys, there's big moment here. So what happened was, Tanya, after knight a4, the pawn came forward to d6 to defend that pawn. And Gukesh was like, I'm breaking in the center. Pawn takes pawn. Knight takes. It looked roundabout even here. And you know what Firouzja had to do? He had to take the bishop. Queen takes and had to play the knight out. But he played the knight out directly without trading the bishops. And now a big moment, guys. White to play. What is the winning move here? I mean, not the winning move, but a move to get a big advantage. Can Gukesh find it? Guys, can you find it?
And as our fans here are taking a think
Gukesh
about
did
this.
not find it.
Whoa, he made a
Gukesh
decision.
did not find. The move was bishop a7, Tanya. The rook is trapped.
Oh, you have one square, but it's useless because you step it up and the bishop comes in with a check and you end up losing the rook. This would have just bagged the point for Gukesh.
Yeah, actually, he played b3 and now it's Alireza who's completely fine.
And look at that last move, guys. Alireza spots the threat and he says, Gukesh, you had your opportunity, but I'm not giving it to you for the second time.
No.
He defends that square.
It's done now. I think Gukesh is going to really be very upset with himself for missing this opportunity because, guys, black is better for the very simple reason that this one pawn is holding back two pawns, and Tanya, these central pawns will start rushing down the board.
And I'll add another point to that. That white knight on a4, which has just been threatened by the bishop sliding over by Alireza Firouzja. Look at that sneaky queen behind it. You can't even move the knight away because the a2 pawn is being x-rayed by the queen. Gukesh is in practical trouble here.
That's actually bad news for the PBG Alaskan Knights team, but very good news for the Triveni Continental Kings, because they were in trouble on board number 4, right? Katrina Lagno was better, is better. By the way, some news coming in. Lenier Dominguez on board number 3 is actually pushing against Vidit Gujarati. So the PPG Alaskan Knights are trying, you know. What do you make of this position, Tanya? Although Vidit's position looks really cool, with the knight on f4, trying to threaten here, the queen lined up, the rook here, the bishop. The engine likes white.
And that's very interesting because, like you said, it almost feels like all of Vidit's pieces are placed so nicely. Material balance is there. Then why is it the case that white is doing well? Well, I will say one thing, that Vidit has also set up a certain threat. Always be careful about knight takes pawn on g2. You know, you take that pawn, you get rid of the defender. If the king steps up, that knight is hanging. So
That's
Vidit's...
so nicely pointed. So for example, let's say I make the move a3, then boom, you lose this. And actually, Tanya, you could even take this, and you could even potentially take it with the bishop. There are too many threats in the position.
Which still doesn't answer our question, why is this so much better for Lenier? And the reason is that once that threat is taken care of, positionally white is doing very well.
But Tanya, look at this big mistake by Dominguez here. He moves his knight to g5 and a huge tactical opportunity for Vidit Gujarati. Look at this move. Insane. Bishop takes c4. And if queen takes... Guys, what's the move here? I mean, I was going to think knight e2 check, but it actually loses. Check, rook takes queen, and...
Just take the bishop. Just take the bishop. You can give a check, you can take the bishop, and you get 3 pieces for a queen. But you have an in-between move. Sagar, you don't need to go for this tactic immediately. You can deflect that white rook. Queen takes knight. What a stunner. Sacrifice the queen for just a moment, jump in with your knight, and you regain material with interest.
Beautiful. So
Stunning.
beautiful. But do you think Vidit will spot this? This is too tough. Vidit goes g6, and guys, you can see how tough these tactics are, even for the best players in the world.
I don't think Vidit missed bishop takes pawn if we just go back one move. What Vidit did not like about this move is that even h7 is a tender spot.
Yes.
So trying to understand after bishop takes pawn, your king is in the open, evaluating this position, good luck, very hard. Vidit just said, I don't like it, I'm going to keep things under control, and goes for a more cautious approach.
But his position is not bad. The position is still very sharp. It can go in any direction, and Lenier brings his rook to a1, putting pressure on the bishop on e6. Okay. Tense moments here in this encounter. Tanya, should we go to Arjun versus Wei? The World Cup encounter. Ooh.
Whoa, and I mean, right now, immediately when you switch, it feels like an Arjun Aragaisi show, right? That A pawn has gone up the board, trying to open up the A line so that you're able to create a weakness on that A file. A7 will be a huge point if pawn takes pawn was Wei's decision. Definitely pressure on black. Look at the white queen, look at the white pawn. The 2 rooks lined up.
Yeah, I think white has got everything perfectly positioned. Somehow, the engine says, no problems for black, everything's fine. But practically, Arjun's position, much easier to play.
I would agree with that. I think it just feels like a healthier position for white. You're the one who's putting on the pressure. It's also, you know, a very happy position because you just see Wei not really attacking anything right now. Because once Wei starts attacking something, there's no way out of that.
Okay, Tanya, should we go to our icon board?
We gotta do it.
Gukesh versus Alireza Firouzja. Guys, Gukesh at this point made a move that was queen e3. He says to Alireza, take my knight. I'm okay with it. You can take the pawn as well if you want. But then remember that your own pawn on e7 is weak.
But bhai, how does a player from a PBG Alaskan Knights not care about his knight? ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है?
Well, I think Gukesh is of this opinion that, you know, I'm the king here. I don't care about knights.
He's playing Triveni Continental Kings, just a reminder.
Yeah, queen e3. And guys, Ali Reza is better if he just defends the pawn on e8 with rook e8 or bishop e6. Tanya, yesterday, Gukesh did draw against Hikaru. Today, he's playing against Firouzja. Such tough encounters on the icon board.
And you know, it's been a really weird storyline because from match 4 and match 5 today, we had the icon board being decisive, but the player who won on the icon board, the team went on to lose.
I agree.
And that is not
And
usual.
the one who wins on the prodigy board, that
Goes
team
on to
wins.
win.
Okay.
Is that our sign to head to the prodigy board
Okay,
now that
let's
we've
go.
checked on with the icon board?
Daniel Darda versus Mark Andrea Morizzi here, Tanya. Very few moves have been played. I think they're playing very carefully here. They're taking it slow. It was the London system here with Daniel Darda going for it and Mark Andrea Morizzi trading. I'm a bit worried. There's a check here, but I'm pretty sure the king will move up.
Would love to see that happen, right? On move number 10, potentially white could lose all rights to castle, but the king will feel very healthy and safe there. No more checks, and if there is a queen trade, you want your king in the center. So, you know, not just that. I think even if the queen slides over to give a check from a5, we're going to see one of the king moves.
Yeah.
Either to e2 or to f1.
This will get sharp. This will
Very
get
quickly.
sharp. We are
Maza
on
aane wala hai.
move number 9 right now, and look at them, guys. They are so zoned in. The prodigy board, I think, carries a lot of pressure because, you know, everyone's looking at them. They are like the next gen of the chess world. They are below 20, and somehow, with everyone's eyes on them, they don't want to mess up things.
And they feel that. They feel they have to show up for their team. You know, we've seen championships in the Global Chess League being decided on that prodigy board. Who can forget season 1? It all came down to Sindarov versus Jonas Beer. What an epic finale that was. So there's a lot at play on this final prodigy board. We see some trades at the center. More simplification. And black might be forced to have a central weakness right now.
Either a central weakness, oh, he does it. So the bishop opens up. But guys, this is not a great position for Mark Andrea Morizzi. You can go rook c1. You can play your knight to d4. This is looking good for the PBG Alaskan Knights here in this position. Tanya, a big news. Katrina Lagno, who was totally better. We were talking about it, that she might take home the point. She's now equal. What happened? What changed? And something went terribly wrong for Lagno. And Zuzhiner, what a fighter, she's back. If you attack here, bishop c6, the bishop simply drops back. And Tanya, being a strength here, that pawn has become a weakness.
Yeah, from an asset to a liability. Suddenly the black king is about to move closer to that pawn in just one move and you'll have no way to actually defend it. Look at the rook that's gone straight forward into the attack, is hitting on the c3 pawn. King f7, a big threat as well. You trade the bishop, the rook would slide back, win the pawn instantly. Katrina Lagno, might be time to pull the brakes on this one.
Right. And Tanya, I think it's time for us to give sort of a status update of this matchup. Let's start from board number 1. Right now, Gukesh versus Ali Reza Firouzja. I have a feeling Ali Reza in a better position.
It feels like Alireza is on the front foot right now, putting pressure on that knight that Gukesh has. That's the problem child in this position for Gukesh. The white knight on a4. How does he make a decision? e7 defend ho chuka hai. Bishop takes knight is a threat to win a pawn and not easy to fight it.
Right. So, would you agree? Small edge to TCK.
Yes.
Okay, board number 2. This one, it seems like Wei is fighting back. I have a feeling this will end in a draw.
You know, Sagar, on this one, I think draw is a likely result, but I can see Arjun really putting the pressure. That a7 ki jo weakness hai black ke camp mein, it's a long-term weakness. If you're able to win that pawn, you are basically pushing this game till your opponent cracks.
Okay, okay. So would you say the Alaskan Knights here, PBG Alaskan Knights, will strike?
Arjun has a chance to take this.
Okay, okay. Let's go to Lenier Dominguez versus Vidit Gujarati. By far, the most complex position that we have in this match, with all the knights kind of in this lined up, one against the other. What's your feeling here, Tanya? I just can't assess this.
I'm actually really liking Black's position right now for Vidit Gujarati. It just feels the queen and the rook lined up against that f2 tender spot. When there's a knight on f4, you know, you're already feeling a little unsafe around that white king a little bit. I think it's not a disaster for Lenya, but Vidit on the attack.
Okay. So good news here for the Triveni Continental Kings. This one, I think, even though it looks like a draw, I have a feeling that Zhu Jinner might be able to turn it around for the simple reason that Katrina Lagno knows that something's gone wrong.
Lagno might want to pull the brakes, but it might be just too late to do that. Yes, Zhu Jinner on the pull, but I think, you know, they say all rook pawn endings are draw. I feel that it might not be enough. So many trades have already happened.
So many weak pawns in White's camp. So this one, I'm actually feeling that the Triveni Continental Kings might press through. Sara Khadem versus Alexandra Kostyanyuk, another game where the Triveni seems to be better. It's opposite colored bishop, but look at this pawn on e3, Tanya, with the bishop coming in, looking good for black.
Completely agree with this one. I think for Kostyanyuk, she's going to play this out. I have played against Kostyanyuk. I know what her strengths are. These are the kind of positions that she'll just play 100 moves in. Again, just constantly putting pressure on her opponent. She's ahead on the clock as well. I think Triveni Continental Kings looking good with their queen on this board.
So actually, the Triveni Continental Kings are doing well on several boards, guys. But on the Prodigy board, it's actually the PBG Alaskan Knights who seem to be better here. Look at that knight on d4. Look at these pawns. I have a feeling that Daniel Darda will get the job done here.
It looks like it's the one where he's pushing, right? You pointed out better pieces right now. And although there are doubled pawns for white, but it can't be attacked. You can't really get to these pawns. In fact, if anything, it's taking away activity from black. c5, a5 under control. That knight from d4 can fall back to b3, reroute itself to even greener pastures.
Nice.
Literally green with the color of our board.
I love this. I think, guys, here White's game is easier to play. Let's head over to our icon board very quickly. Gukesh versus Alireza Firuza. Alireza's queen is fishing here. Tanya, there could be a sacrifice potentially lurking around with a mate threat on h2 square.
Bhai, ye queen a5 pe thi. It was on the other end of the board.
It just swung over in one move, boom, and then settled itself on the square.
And it didn't even care about that knight anymore. वो कह रहा है कि भाई उसको भूल जाओ. That knight is offside. It will take forever to come back into the game. You know, Sagar, can you just pick and drop this piece on f3? If you just pick it up and drag it there, I think उठा के अगर आप, the whole game is different.
I think White would be better.
White almost feels that you're better here. You know, better pawn structure, b4 weak hai. But currently, Gukesh, knight offside hai. Alireza coming up with some checkmating tactics if bishop takes pawn is allowed.
But you know what, Tanya? I think Gukesh loves such crazy positions. He will somehow try to get this knight. He'll try to get his rook in. This can be anyone's game at this point, although the engine evaluates it as slightly better for Alireza Firuza. Ooh, we have big action here. The game where we thought Vidit had a good position, Tanya, it seems that Lenier Dominguez is dominating this one.
And it's all about the king's safety. Look at Vidit's king out in the open right now. In fact, Lenier is saying ki bhai mera rook bhi le lo. That rook which is on e5, it's pinned, it can be won, but it's going to be all about that pawn which will step forward, attack the queen, and even go ahead in the game, making it very difficult for the black king eventually.
Right. And Tanya, I just want to show the last couple of moves. What happened here was, at this moment, Vidit, Dominguez jumped with his knight, bishop takes, and here he had to take queen takes g5, which is insanely difficult move because of a check and you lose the queen, but boom, take here, and this was somehow okay for black. But Vidit did not play it. He took with the pawn, and this is where queen takes f4 came in, and now, guys, Vidit is in trouble, as Tanya just explained. For example, a move like rook e3 takes, what a pawn.
What a pawn and what a rook. I actually love that move. That rook is going to slide over right on the file of the black king. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. You take my rook, but you lose your king.
Well said there. Oof, man. Vidit Gujarati needs to play carefully here. 7 minutes, 41 seconds for him. Dominguez has 7 minutes. He's worse right now, but Dominguez needs to find this maneuver with his rook.
That's a big moment right now for Dominguez. He does pause. He has to be feeling, you know, queen, knight, rook सब आ चुके हैं विदित के king के पास कि यहाँ पे कुछ तो होगा भाई. I think rook e3, a rook lift, a beautiful attacking idea. Sagar, as Dominguez is about to take his decision, should we check in with our icon board?
Yes, let's go there. The rook did swing over to c7, Tanya. The bishop moved up, and now Gukesh has got his rook into the center of the board.
And very importantly, bishop takes pawn was not possible on the previous move. It's a tactic in the air that Gukesh has to be careful about. But there would have been an intermezzo if we just back up one move. Bishop takes pawn, bishop takes knight would have taken care of any problems around the white king. You eventually win that bishop and no attack.
Right. And by the way, rook c8, Gukesh takes, rook, and now the knight, which was not in the game, should come into the game, I believe. But no, it's not the right time. If you play this, the black rook enters in and attacks this super weak pawn on a2, then b3 would also be weak. By rook c2 is coming in, Gukesh
has to play energetically. He has to make sure that that rook doesn't land on the second rank with all these threats that you're pointing out. Again, for Gukesh, uska knight, he needs to get it into the game, just isn't able to get the right time.
Right, and by the way, guys, right now, this position is very balanced. The match is super balanced with Lanier having the advantage for PBZ Alaskan Knights and Alexandra Koschenyuk having the advantage for Triveni Continental Kings. Everything else looks even, Tanya. I think this is all going to be decided in the last few seconds.
Absolutely agree with you. Right now, all the games feel like they can go anyway. You know, even though the bars are level in most of them, there's so much play complexity involved as well. And let's keep our eyes on our icon board. As we also know, Arjun versus Vishy is heating up as well. But Sagar, I think the clocks will be a huge factor. And in this one, Gukesh is down by almost 5 minutes, guys.
Yeah, he plays his queen back to d2. And if Alireza finds the next move, to act, oh, he finds it. I was going to say, to hit this structure, he's found it. Alireza going at Gukesh.
H5 and V live. He's saying he's coming towards that white king right now. And look at that. If Gukesh has to make this move, look at his bishop. He's trapped it behind his own pawns.
No, this is not a great time for this bishop. Not a great time for this knight. The white pieces are misplaced. Alireza Firuza can start jumping with his own knights on the dark squares here. Alireza doing really well yesterday. He beat Fabiano Caruana. And now he's on the verge of getting a serious edge against Gukesh.
And what a game that was. And in that as well, there was action on the G and the H file. Very similar to what we are seeing right now. Alireza went on to become the player of the match in that one with a ferocious attack on the board. He's trying to create that. He takes on G4, Sagar.
Tanya, Gukesh should have taken with the F pawn. He went in with the H pawn, but now knight d5, bishop takes, and look at this rook swinging over to deliver a very deadly attack.
Things are starting to look very scary. And again, notice how Gukesh ka knight is not playing in the game at all. He's essentially playing down a piece because one of them is completely offside. I will say though, make a case for this decision by Gukesh. You always want to capture towards the center.
Yeah, but this bishop on g2 is now trapped. Oh my God. This is looking good for Triveni Continental Kings. And Tanya, we were talking about Dominguez being better on board 3 against Vidit, but he's not making his move. He's down to 3 minutes. He was there at 7.5 minutes. He's thinking from 4 minutes.
Abhay, time scramble mein kuch bhi ho sakta hai in a winning position as well. He still hasn't found that rook lift that you've been talking about, Sagar. I think that will be very, very strong if it happens. But khelo, kuch bhi khelo, you're under 3 minutes.
The Dominguez you have to play. The advantage doesn't convert on its own. You have to make your moves. And with it here, must be getting that energy back. He makes his move. Oh, he sacks one more knight. What?
Sagar bhai.
Takes at 7.
Sagar bhai sacking his co-commentator with that.
Sorry, did you get hurt, Tanya? I'm sorry. Oh, rook e7 check. And now, very important not to play rook f7 because take, check, and the rook swings over. So this is very bad. You have to play your king back to h8 or g8, Tanya.
And it starts looking very, very scary. But the thing is there a knockout blow? I see our bar says कि भाई position level हो चुकी है, which means that इस attack में कोई checkmate नहीं है. There is no big juice, but from a human perspective, this is very scary.
I agree. A Very interesting decision by Lenier Dominguez. King goes back to G8, and right now Queen to F3. And you are right. The engine, emotionless, says it's equal. But with those emotions for Vidit here, but Vidit playing like an engine for now. He's holding it, Tanya.
He has to make sure that that G file remains defended. By G file pe check aa gaya, it would be game over. He takes control of that H5 square, not allowing that white queen to slide up the board, because H7 would be a tender spot, a big checkmating moment here. So Vidit stops any infiltration by the white queen.
And guys, we must tell you that on board number 5, the game that we thought Alexandra Koschenyuk would have been considerably better is now moving towards perhaps a draw with this beautiful move that Sara Khadem has played to kind of get away with her weakness and push the pawn to b5 and opposite colored bishops.
And using this moment, because pawn takes pawn is not possible, that bishop on d4 super weak, will be lost if you lose control. So Sara Khadem spotting that opportunity to move the b pawn up. Let's go back to our icon board there,
yes.
Sagar, as Gukesh is under 4 minutes right now. Ali Reza ahead on the clock, putting pressure. Look at that, playing on the dark squares around with its Gukesh's king.
But look at this, Gukesh, so greedy. He catches the pawn, and now bishop f4. So for all the worries that Gukesh has, he has one pawn. But the worries are too much. Queen h2 check coming in.
That's an extra pawn, but king in big danger. What's the follow-up? It's only a check, guys. Looks like a checkmate, but
mate hai. Tanya, mate hone wala hai. The knight is coming here. The bishop is entering on dark squares. It's a massacre here.
He goes for it. Ali Reza's played it.
Ali Reza
It's
Firuza
on the board.
fire. By Firuza, no? What do you call him?
Ali Reza Firuza on the board. Ferocious Firuza, however you look at it. He's bringing it on for the Triveni Continental Kings. And I see, Sagar, you bought something on our commentary.
If our director Saab can show me here on the screen, look at this. This is the logo of, mascot of the Triveni Continental Kings. And right now, it's very happy. Queen f2 played. I mean, Tanya, this is over. This is over. Bishop goes to g3. He goes rook c2. I mean, it would need a miracle here for Gukesh to survive.
And the thing is that usually this sort of an attack comes when you've sacrificed the piece. Ali Reza is only down a pawn. Both over Jeetega on a2 under attack. Coming for that white king. A huge trouble for Gukesh. 2.5 minutes, but the clock is not Gukesh's biggest problem. It's what's happening on the board.
I agree. And guys, leading from the front is Ali Reza Firuza, and just as we had expected, Zhu Jinner on board 4 is actually getting better against Katrina Lagno. This is getting really good for the Triveni Continental Kings, as they are better on 2 boards and rest of the 4 boards are all even, Tanya.
And
let's stay on the top board now. Queen G1, let's stay on the icon board.
Let's do that, because this could finish any moment. In fact, if we can go full screen on Gukesh and Ali Reza, our center court board right there. Let's get them on our screen. Let's get our small board up there and really see the emotions of this play out, because this, if Gukesh saves it, will be a huge miracle. He wants a queen trade.
Oh, by the way, he took the queen.
Okay, this is a sigh of relief.
Because, you know, Tanya, he could have kept the queens here, and white is so paralyzed. But after queen trade, maybe it gives Gukesh a small opportunity there.
Ali Reza keh raha hai, bhai, meri position is so good that I'm willing to transform my advantage into an endgame play. Does he simply snap up the a2 pawn, now creating a b3 weakness? Rook is active, knight is active. Look at the beautiful bishops. Compare Ali Reza's bishops to Gukesh's. Yes, Gukesh isn't getting checkmated, but troubles are far from over.
But I see a glimmer of hope here for Gukesh. Perhaps, although, guys, objectively, Ali Reza is still winning. But queen trade, maybe not the best idea. Ooh, this match is even now on all the boards, as Zhu Jinner has slightly lost her edge. So that means that this one is the super critical game now. Guys, imagine that all 5 boards end in draws. Oh, there's a result. A draw. No.
We do have a result on our superstar woman board. Katrina Lagno there. With Zhu Jinner. It was Zhu Jinner bringing in the win for the Triveni Continental Kings. And there we see
the team supporters in the pink jerseys there breaking out into an applause for their first win.
But Tanya, it was equal there, and last moment was a blunder. Let's go back to the icon board. We'll come back and analyze what went wrong here or what went right for both the players. Rugby won.
Huge 4 points in the bag by Zujena, which means now more pressure on the world champion. Gukesh with white must hold this.
Rook B1 played, and Gukesh is putting in the kind of trust that he has on the B pawn. But guys, that's not going ahead. And we have a draw. A big result. Vidit Gujarati has held the draw against Lenier Dominguez. Another good result for the Triveni Continental Kings. And by the way, Tanya, I must tell you that while Gukesh is in big trouble, Marc-Andrea Morizzi for the team of Triveni Continental Kings is totally winning. Look at this.
Unbelievable. Currently 5-1 is the score, guys, for Triveni Continental Kings. Who are the players who will strike back by the PBJ Alaska Knights as the games come down to their final moments, final seconds on the clock?
Yes, let's go to the top board now. Gukesh versus Alireza Firouzja.
And look at that, Sagar. Gukesh looking around to also check out the results of what is going on in his teammate, but he has to be feeling the pressure. Alireza has played this fantastically. Can Gukesh hold this difficult endgame?
You know, Tanya, Gukesh is looking for some inspiration, some good positions for his teammates, but there are none. None of his teammates are winning. Arjun is equal against Wei. Sara Khadem is actually slightly worse against Koschenyuk. And Daniel Darda is actually losing against Marc-Andrea Morizzi.
Huge moment, lots of tension there. We see Alireza Firouzja also head in hands. Though the guy looks chill, he knows that, you know, this board, if I'm able to get it in the bag, I've gotten the job done for my team. It will be an unsurmountable lead for the Triveni Continental Kings.
You know, Tanya, right now, Alireza had built whatever time lead he had. He's now investing it in this moment. And guys, this is such smart thinking by Alireza. He's not rushing into it. He's taking his time. He's taking stock. And guys, there seems to be another result. By the way, a check. Bishop takes bishop. The advantage has reduced a bit, but still very solid. And we have a controversy or a result, or what's happened? The arbiter is coming in. Maybe the arbiter is blocking our view.
It's a draw. The game has ended peacefully in this one. Sara Khadem with the white pieces there. Sagar, let's quickly go back to our center court, our icon board right there. As we get, it's now 2-6 for the Triveni Continental Kings in this one. And Gukesh with huge responsibilities on his shoulders.
Right. And now, knight d1, bishop comes back. Guys, at this point, it doesn't seem that the Triveni Continental Kings can lose this.
But Sagar, I have to say that this could be the best position Gukesh has had all game.
Imagine that Gukesh starts pushing this pawn, Tanya, and it becomes an asset. I don't see that happening, but it could if Alireza is not, you know, careful here.
A very committal decision by Gukesh. This last move, planting it on a dark square, that pawn potentially could come under attack, also leaving behind a very important square for the black bishop to slide into.
But Tanya, he wants to push f4 and activate this bishop. He had to do that. But you are right. This is not looking so good. Maybe bishop f5.
Exactly, Sagar. That white rook on b1, guys, it's running out of space for Gukesh. That rook doesn't have too many squares left.
Oh,
and look at that, Alireza finds it, he plays it.
And Tanya, what about e4 here? That's a terrible blunder because bishop drops back and checks from here and it's game over.
Unbelievable.
Gukesh mustn't touch his e-pawn. That would be game over.
So instructive, right? You attack on one side and then you finish the game from the other side after provoking weaknesses. Look at the way Alireza Firouzja is converting this so far. And I think Gukesh now spots it that e4 wasn't possible.
Yes.
Because of this idea of the white king suddenly being super weak.
He goes knight to f2. He brings his knight in. And right now, guys, the score line is 2-6. And let's quickly check Arjun Erigaisi.
Let's do it. Let's quickly jump onto that.
This is a draw, Tanya.
This is about to end in the balance. Although Arjun has an extra pawn, it is not enough to win the game. This will end in a draw, so it all comes down to our icon board.
And look at him cutting off the king here. And by the way, on the last board, on the Prodigy board, we can see that black is totally winning. Marc-Andrea Morizzi, 2 pawns up. He's going to get 4 more points for the Triveni Continental Kings. Let's go back to the icon board. Gukesh versus Firouzja. And whoa, what just happened? He pushed the B pawn And it's over. Bishop C2. You spoke about this rook getting trapped. It's happening.
Rook E1, Bishop D2, game over. He's about to lose his rook. Triveni,
Resigns.
Continental Kings. It's a whitewash by them.
Whoa! What a finish there. Ali Reza Firuza beating the world champion Domaraju Gukesh. Board number 2 ending in a draw between Arjun and Vei. And now it's all down to the junior board between Daniel Darda and Marc-Andrea Morizzi. But Tanya, Triveni Continental Kings have already clinched the match.
It's an unsurmountable, uncatchable lead right there. 3-11. What a massacre this has been
And they're
by
going to
the
win
defending
this one as
champions.
well. So it's going to be 15-3.
That is going to be the biggest margin we had. We had 17-4 by the upgrad Mumbai Masters, and now it's the Triveni Continental Kings doing it.
Almost similar to what the upgrad Mumbai Masters did yesterday. I think this team of Triveni Continental Kings with Ali Reza leading from the front is looking so dangerous. They are looking unbeatable.
I mean, when
and
you
game over. Game over. We have victory by Marc-Andrea Morizzi. What a performance by the Triveni Continental King. Absolute domination.
Triveni Continental Kings almost at this point feel inevitable. The 2 times champion of the Global Chess League. And what a start it has been by them. Day 1, taking down the Alpine SG Pipers with Ali Reza Firuza defeating Fabiano Caruana. And then day 2 coming back and a banger of a performance against the PBG Alaskan Knights. Ali Reza Firuza once again winning on the icon board. Takes down the world champion Gukesh Domaraju.
You know, Tanya, I want to give the MVP of the match, the player of the match award to someone else, but we can't do it. It was Ali Reza Firuza who played an insane match today.
Sagar, you're calling him the player of the match. I'd almost go as far as to say player of the tournament so far. 2 out of 2 on an icon board. 1 against the world number 3, Fabiano Caruana. Another against Gukesh. This is incredible performance.
Absolutely, and the PBG Alaskan Knights are still looking for their first win in this tournament. They definitely look a bit dejected there with Gukesh, Arjun, Dominguez and the team. But look at the Triveni Continental Kings. All smiles there. Vei with it. Firuza, Kostenyuk, Zuzhiner. Everyone's so happy.
You know, Firuza, you rarely see expression on him there. And as we go into the arena?
In round 6, won the team of Continental Kings. 3 match points. And game points is 15 against 3. Again, win the Continental Kings. We want to congratulate the winners and also tell you about tomorrow. Tomorrow, again, we have 3 rounds. Welcome to the year. And see, I think will be interesting games tomorrow also. And now we ask the teams to please shake a hand.
And this wonderful ritual that is there, I love it. It just shows the sportsmanship there, but you can see that in these handshakes, the PBG Alaskan Knights are a little bit looking shaky there, while the Triveni Continental Kings are ecstatic.
PBG Alaskan Knights is the team that made it to the finals of Season 2 in London of the Global Chess League, but so far it has been a disastrous start for them in Mumbai, yet to get on that leaderboard currently. But for Triveni Continental Kings, just like the upgrad Mumbai Masters, these 2 clearly are the teams that you have to take down for that final spot.
But you know, Tanya, somehow I feel like the Triveni Continental Kings are so solid, right? For example, I think none of their players are looking like, you know, they're going to go anywhere wrong. They are so solid right now. I mean, the only shaky game I could see was like Zuzhiner, who was slightly worse, you know, against Katrina Lagno.
And even she won in the end.
Yeah.
She turned it around.
She turned it around.
She turned it around, which shows, you know, the fighting spirit that you have. So where are you actually going to crack in this team? Where are you actually going to target? You know, facing the Triveni Continental Kings right now is not a task any of the other teams want. 13-7 scoreline of the Ganges Grandmasters. That was the match from the earlier one. But right now, it was a 15-3 victory for the defending champions, Triveni Continental Kings. What a performance. We will be back with the player of the match in just a few.
Continental Kings playing like absolute kings on every single board there with a dominating match victory, 15-3 against the PBG Alaskan Knights. And it's time to crown the MVP for the Continental Kings. Over to you, Arohi.
One mission domination. That's kind of been the story for the Triveni Continental Kings right from season 1, and that dream run continues in this season as well. Hello and welcome to the post-match presentation ceremony of match number 6, played between the Triveni Continental Kings and the PBG Alaskan Knights this evening here in Mumbai. To present the award, joining us this evening is Mr. Avad Shah, Country Director, Chess.com, and the Player of the Match award goes to Ali Reza Firoja from Triveni Continental Kings. Firstly, congratulations, and all of us who are watching this game, all of us here, we have a question. 2-2. Yesterday, you beat Caruana. Today, you beat the world champion. Just how?
Yeah, I think I'm playing good chess, and this time format, of course, also suits me. So I'm happy with the start of the team also.
It seems like you've come with a plan, and the plan is to win all the player of the tournaments for every match your team plays.
Yeah, I'm trying my best. It's good gifts. So I try to win more.
Okay, tell me this. As you play on the icon board, you get some minutes extra to watch how your other teammates are playing. Does that have an impact on your strategy or what your opening move would be?
No, in opening, I try to play what I think is the best. It's too early to think about the other matches.
Okay. How are you going to celebrate tonight?
Hopefully, Team Captain takes us some dinner.
He'll be listening to this, but congratulations on your win today.
Thank you.
That is it from the final match of the day. We'll come back with more exciting games tomorrow. Till then, stay tuned. Back to the studio.
Ali Reza Firoja, once again, the MVP for the Triveni Continental Kings, the most valued player, and there's a case to be made for that when you take down the world number 3, Fabiano Caruana, on day 1, and then follow it up with a win against the world champion.
Yeah, I mean, he was absolutely amazing today, Ali Reza Firoja, and I think he did not give Gukesh any real opportunities today, right? He played so well.
He's known as a speed demon for a reason. With the black pieces, completely dominating performance for me.
And what a day of chess it has been, including this final match. But let's not forget, we had an action-packed tape from the start. Let's get up to date with the scores that we had. We started the day with the Upgrad Mumbai Masters' second match win in a row against the Fire's American Gambit. And then it was the Ganges Grandmasters getting on that leaderboard with a 13-7 victory against Fabiano Caruana's Alpine SG Pipers. And to wrap up the day, a crushing and a crashing performance by the Triveni Continental Kings against the PBG Alaskan Knights. Kings, stronger than the Knights on the chessboard as well?
That too with the black pieces. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up. And in the entire 6 games, they were never in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as of now, they've lost only one game. That was Koshtenyuk yesterday. Apart from that, the Triveni Continental Kings, every single player has been rock solid.
Wow. I think that's unbelievable.
But I have to ask both of you right now, Sagar. We were calling the action, and that's what it just felt like. Every game we would go to, it was Triveni Continental Kings winning here, better here, winning here, better here. Like you said, barely in trouble on any of the games. Let's bring up our head-to-head scores as we saw it play out, and look at the number of 4s that you have. And you know, one number that's missing on that screen is 3. Not a single win for the team with the white pieces.
Yeah, and I think in general, just black seems to be a very cool color to play with, right? Like all the teams today that had the black pieces were doing quite well. I mean, you know, this 4-point thing with a win with black pieces is really, really making this team tournament so exciting.
It really is, and what an exciting start it was to this match. You know, it was all eyes on this board's ahead with Gukesh starting against Ali Reza Firoja. It's the battle between two players almost of the same generation, you know, the younger generation. Alireza Firouzja yet to play a World Championship match, but I think we'd all love to see him there. Hasn't made it to the candidates this year. But Gukesh, World Champion. But I have to say, this match, Alireza with the black pieces never really gave Gukesh any chances. Out of the opening, was dominating and managed to convert.
Yeah, I think it was a very impressive play by Alireza Firouzja there. And there it is, resignation and MVP, I think fully deserved for Alireza Firouzja.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, riding on the success of Alireza, the Triveni Continental Kings are looking very strong, Tanya, as they are on the top of the leaderboard, but along with the upgrade Mumbai Masters.
You know what I want to know is what is that prize of the most valued player, of the player of the match that we just saw Avacha give to Alireza. Would love to get some insights on that, but Alireza's got to be pleased with his performance so far in Mumbai.
I think the prize is that you got to defeat the world champion with the black pieces.
That is a good point.
And also a good dinner, yeah, tonight. That's what he wanted. He was like, please take me to a good restaurant. And actually, this area of Mumbai is filled with amazing restaurants.
Where are you going to eat dinner tonight, Sagar?
I have a very favorite restaurant here. It's called the Burma. I want to go there someday. One of the days.
Are you going to reveal that right now, where it is, what it is?
No, I'm not. I've not planned it yet. But maybe it would be someone with someone special.
Ooh, that's not a hard guess. Well, let's reveal the action at least that's coming on tomorrow. It's going to be day 3 of the Global Chess League, the heat to the finish line. The race to the finish line even is heating up as we've got all the 6 teams back in action. We start the day with Vishy Anand's Ganges Grandmasters taking on Gukesh's PBG Alaska Knights. And as I say that, let that sink in. On the icon board, it's going to be Vishy versus Gukesh.
So 5 p.m. tomorrow, guys, if you want to come here to the Royal Opera House, tomorrow is the perfect day. It's the 2 world champions of India taking on each other.
I don't even know what to say, but I think tomorrow is going to be a good day, guys.
Right, and then we have the Triveni Continental Kings against the Fire American Gambits. Also a very cool one because it's Alireza Firouzja against Hikaru Nakamura.
Unbelievable matchup. Hikaru Nakamura took down Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. One speed demon. Can he stop the hot run, the streak that Firouzja is on right now? What a match day we set ourselves up for. Not just that, with Upgrade Mumbai Masters taking on the Alpine SG Pipers. It's going to be a fantastic day of chess at the Royal Opera House. We will be back bringing you all the action. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, good night, stay safe, and be kind to each other.